And then I had on golden handcuffs, and I was like, this isn't what I want to do. So I moved up to Chicago. I visited a lot of places, but I really like the grit of Chicago. I like how people are like, give it to me straight. Yeah, all right, Chicago represent back there. Yes, but nothing was like, things were not the way that, nothing's as easy as you thought, and nothing turns out really the way that you did. So I did some television work there. That was really cool. I was actually just talking with Lyn and saying, the thing about, video now on YouTube is when you think about how cheap and easy it is to make video, even compelling video, compared to what's on television, it's like, oh man, we gotta jump on it. So today we're gonna talk about how to make videos that people want to see, but super short, obviously, because we have 15 minutes. And I'm hoping to leave a little Q&A at the end. And I've been thinking a lot about this, like, what are you guys coming for? And I asked some of you earlier, it's like, what are you hoping to leave here with? And I was like, if I were going to something about video, I feel pretty good if I made a video. So keep that in mind, because I want to take some of my time and have you actually make a video, because you all know how to push the red button, right? So that's not exactly the issue. There's some other things going on. So let's talk about some of our options, if you wouldn't mind. Thanks. Okay, so knowing your options. Obviously I started with some of the easiest ones, slideshows now. I don't know if you guys have seen some of these cooking videos. This is actually one, but with the whole flickering and technical difficulties, I can make these links available and you can watch them. But this video about how to make honey garlic chicken got about 6 million views on YouTube, and no one's face is on it. No one's even talking through it. It's just music. You see some naked chicken breast, and they move all the way to this stage, and people just absolutely love it. Now, whether or not they're going to make this chicken, I don't know, but very, very popular. So those are pieces of video, but you can just do it just as easily with slideshows now. And a lot of the apps are making that even super easy for you. And adding voiceover, it really just takes it to another level, obviously. But something that's very interesting that I found is that when I'm looking at my Facebook analytics specifically, about 65% of the people that are watching my videos are doing so without sound. So that is a big, that's good to know about captioning, and that's really what I'm starting to do also. Not only are you starting to get all that little SEO from all those words, a lot of people are watching this on the train, or they're watching it while they're at dinner with their friends, which I don't recommend. Put your phone down. But they're watching it without audio, so that's really good to keep in mind. The talking head, that's something that I really like to do, but not everyone has my personality, and not everyone wants to do that. But if you have friends in real life, you will find an audience if you get on camera. I mean, trust me. People told me my whole life how expressive I was. I didn't realize it until I started making video. I was like, oh, that's what they mean by everyone feels when I'm upset. That's what they, like, you can see it all over my face. So whatever your brand is, right, not everyone likes me. I know. Some people like people that are very calm and quiet and tell things very methodically. And so don't think that you're not pretty enough, you're not articulate enough, whatever. You are you, and you're the best you that there is. So don't take out talking heads right up. Interviews. Oh man, you guys, these are so easy. Getting someone, I mean, actually, Adam just did a great job. I do not mean to say he didn't do work. Putting events together are very hard, but he's just letting us get up here and talk about what we already know. So that's super great. If you're in some kind of business, interview your employees. I don't know, maybe you have a hair salon or something like that, right? You're interviewing this girl, say, one of your salon people, to ask, what's the new styles? And if they just talk about what they know, I mean, you've got content for days. Customer testimonials. I actually wrote a book about video testimonials because I think they're the biggest bang for your buck. They're super easy. No one's expecting a high level of production. As a matter of fact, maybe they're not, right? Have you ever seen, like, I use such and such lawyer and I got 20,000. You're like, something, it says you're not an actor, but something doesn't feel like authentic about how you're doing that. So, I mean, I really find, and a lot of people, especially small businesses, they have raving fans. And, not all of them will, because, they'll be like, oh, my hair or whatever. But a lot of them, if you set them up, they're happy to sing your praises. And you make them the star, and then other people see that, it just starts going. And really, the value of customer testimonials, I don't know about you, that's how I make those decisions. Yelp, Google+, TripAdvisor, Airbnb, and this is how I make my decisions. Like, well, 700 people probably aren't wrong. So you can get those customer testimonials and just put them everywhere. You guys are so easy. You know, you're tagging your customers. They feel kind of like a rock star. They're like, hey, look at me. You know, you're pumping them up. So I think customer testimonials, wow. There are whiteboard videos. I was talking with some of the guys. You know, there's certainly, I don't know why that extra bullets there. Sorry, that's distracting. Whiteboard videos, you know, people are drawing, kind of explaining. These are usable. They're not my favorite. I feel like maybe they're a little bit played out because now video, it really has to be compelling too. Like, you have to give them something that they want. And unless that whiteboard video is super compelling, it's going to be hard to get people to watch it. And then last but not least, any kind of how-to videos, right? I mean, you're the expert in your industry, and what I find is that people don't realize what experts they are. They're like, oh, everyone knows about the sound quality of, you know, office furniture cubicles. No, not everyone does know that. And if you make a video just saying, hey, this is how sound, you know, this is the difference between why this cubicle costs this price and this cubicle costs this price. People really want to be educated. And I don't know about you guys. I fixed my car the other day with 2 pennies, some electrical duct tape, and a YouTube video. I was like, I did that. So how-to videos are all the rage. We'll go for the next one. Okay, so Facebook. They are doing everything they can to keep Facebook alive and well. If you have a Facebook page, wow, they're doing so many. You can have a shop on Facebook now. You can promote your jobs, any jobs that you're hiring. I mean, it's just really incredible. And if you haven't noticed, if you haven't done any Facebook living, oh wow, I mean, get in there while you can, because they're going to send a notification to people that you're Facebook living. I don't know if that's an actual verb, and I know someone else is going to talk about like the power of live video. I'm a huge fan because it gives it right now, at least. I mean, who knows? Tomorrow Facebook could change, but it's giving it preferential treatment. So, you know, make sure that you kind of know what you're talking about, but man, go live, because it's going to show it to more people. It's just and you don't have to edit, right? And people are expecting, because it's live, it says live, they're expecting you to be a little like, oh, what's happening? So I think it's really good. You kind of level set people's expectations. Obviously, you can upload to Facebook. You can upload an edited video. And I don't know if any of you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk. He's my best friend. He doesn't even know it. Yeah, nice. But you know, I feel like he always gets people to ask him, how do I get people to see specifically my Facebook videos? He's like, pay for it. So lately, you know, I've been throwing $2 to $5 on each post that I'm doing, and now it's starting to show. I mean, Facebook's, if you have a page, you're not really going to get any traction on it. I mean, the free days are over, you know, for Facebook. There was a little bit of time that, you know, and those days are gone. But you know, for $2, for $5 to put on specific posts, at least now you know something. You put $5 on a post that, you know, is you guys talking about your new promotion, and $5 of a post of, you know, dogs running in slow motion. You're gonna be able to see, like, oh, this is what they're responding to. You're gonna be able to make some good decisions. So I would definitely say, go ahead and throw some money on it. Start small, but again, Gary said that, and I think that's really neat. He's saying that Facebook ads right now are like where Google used to be. Google ads. Now things are really expensive. He does a wine thing. He's like, oh, it's like 5 cents when I started. Now it's like $5 per click. And he's saying that's what Facebook ads is right now. So get in on it, because I don't think it's going to be around too much longer. I mean, the prices are already starting to get a little bit higher, but everyone's there. I mean, it's still one of the #1 trafficked websites, and they are doing everything they can to keep us on that page. And that's what I was saying, you know, about just creating entire websites within Facebook. Okay, so let's go to Instagram. So Instagram's obviously blowing up, and the kids are over on Instagram. I think some of them are just on Facebook, you know, so they can talk to their grandma or whatever, and we're talking about like younger millennials, whatever, but Instagram's really blowing up. Snapchat is also a thing, but since Instagram started doing this live thing and stories and things that are very much like Snapchat, there's a huge opportunity. It's like the new Facebook. And they do a live version also. The fact that all these places are doing live should encourage you to get in on that. That's what else I was going to say, is something that Gary said that I thought was so great. It's that social media is like a new beachfront property. So you can either pay a lot or you can get there early. So I would recommend the latter. So in Instagram, it's going to let you post like a 60-second video. You can also do Instagram ads through there. You can do live videos and then promote those. So much going on here, Instagram. And obviously YouTube. And YouTube has a live function. The thing about YouTube is, wow. I mean, there's just so much content on there. The nice thing is that it's going to save it for you, and Google loves YouTube, and you have the opportunity to get all those tags on there and everything, but you may not have the live interaction. So when I do Facebook, I have a Facebook page and then also a profile page. I get so much more, what's the word I'm looking for, yardage, yes, from when I do it on my profile page, right? Because there's more people there than there are on my business page. But then you can't promote videos that you do on your profile. So I mean, everything's, it gets all complicated. But YouTube, even if you do a live video, I would suggest you go ahead and download it and put it on your YouTube channel. Scale everything that you can. If you're going to do something like rip a, Instagram video image off of it, post that to your Instagram, link that back. I mean, it's really all about like trying to get the most bang for your effort. Okay, so step 2 is just start. I mean, as I was saying, you guys know where the record button is. You know how to make a video. You remember when your parents made a video of you opening Christmas presents. That kid, that too just needs to start. It just doesn't get, you're just never going to be ready. And I think especially with video, as I was saying, the thing I hear the most is people don't like what they look like, or they don't think that they have anything to say. When I was in junior high, I got these really bad pictures that I didn't want my mom to give to anyone. She was like, "Jen, that's what you look like." And I was like, okie doke. But the point is, you do a couple videos and you're like, that's what I look like. Okay, all right, And once you start doing them, then you realize you're adorable. But you just have to start, because in the beginning you're not going to think it's great, And I think because consistency is the most important thing. I mean, if you don't start, someone else. I mean, I was just talking to my eyebrow girl today, and I was like, you got to get on the train. She's like, yeah, right. What's the worst that can happen? I was like, the worst that can happen is you're the last person, that everyone else is on this. I mean, change is the only constant. So just do it, because everyone else is thinking the same things that you are. Oh, I'm not, I have a pimple, I don't, whatever. So Nike. Okay. My dad always said, you can be the best basketball player, but if you were playing street ball and no one knows, the NBA doesn't know that you were there, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. So promotion is critical. I have my little bubble burst. It's not all about talent. It's about a lot of other stuff. And one of those things is really consistency. So obviously you're going to want to embed that in your blog. I put a little WordPress logo up here. You're going to want to grab that video and use it other places, because takes a lot out of you to make the video. Hootsuite is a scheduler. You can schedule that out to Twitter multiple times. Make sure you put appropriate hashtags, and it's just something that can once you do that 80% of effort in making that video, push it the other 20%, because it is. If no one knows about it, you can be making the best videos, and you're going to be a starving artist. I get why artists are starving now. Okay, what do we got? And that's just really it. As far as it being consistent, all you have to do is go on YouTube and see some of the biggest YouTube stars. And I would have to say, it's still something that for me, it's I'm more consistent. I'm very consistent, but I'm very scattered with what I like to talk about healthy food. I like to talk about video marketing. I like to talk about this. a lot of times the people that are most successful, not only are they consistent, but they talk about like one thing. Like, you know, that person is the, you know, I don't know, real estate for Austin guy or whatever. But consistency, you know, doing something on the same day or using a hashtag of something that's already been talking about. I mean, there's just no getting around it. Consistency is where it's at. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so this is the challenge. I want you to think of some good advice. Just good advice. You know, what, something your mom told you, or something that people ask you a lot about your industry. You know, things that you think are pretty common. Something maybe you tell someone that's trying to get into your industry. So this is actually, I want to take some time, and I want y'all to do this like now. You know, get out your video camera, and the challenge is to shoot 2 videos, one of yourself and then one of someone else that's around you, because that's what I would that's what I would want. I would want to actually walk out and feel like I did something. And I just think if I let you guys go home, you're gonna be like, oh, that was a good idea. I'll do it tomorrow when my makeup looks better, or, you know, when I'm wearing that blue shirt that really makes my eyes pop, or whatever. So we're talking about something as short as, you know, you getting out your camera. This is an example for me. I feel like I have to read it. Hi, I'm Jen, and my best piece of advice for aspiring video bloggers is to feel the fear, know that the fear stops other people, but it won't stop you. And that's it. You know, we're talking like, I don't know, maybe that was 10 or 15 seconds. But you have something up there, and actually shorter is better in the beginning, right? If you don't, leave them wanting more, is what my dad always said. My dad didn't even know he was getting all this promotion today. But leave them wanting more, right? So if you're running out of things to say or whatever, just start short, because people do see how long that video is, and they make their decisions accordingly. And then the second one is to, you know, you guys have been chatting. I really like how everyone's been, you know, getting along and exchanging stories. Is to ask someone else, put them on camera. You hold the camera, see how easy it is to do an interview or a video testimonial by just asking someone else. And we can just stick with the same question, you know, and I say, Lynn, okay, are you ready? You know, and then I say, all right, tell me your name and your best piece of advice for making video. And he does that. And it's very easy for him, because that's what he does all day long. So it's not about, that's really what I find is the path of least resistance. Ask people what they already know. And that's something that I tell people when I shoot video. It's that my job is to make you look good. Like, I'm not trying to make you look silly. My job is to make you look good, and you know this stuff. So I'm just going to set you up, you know, just throw you a softball and let you look like a rock star. So that is it. I'm going to see if anyone has any questions, but if I have a few minutes left, that's what I want to spend it on. I really want people to make a video. Okay, oh, you want to tell an embarrassing story? Embarrassing story. Okay. Well, it's not really embarrassing. Well, no, it's not. Other people, it might be embarrassing, but the one that came to my mind because I was thinking about just personalities and this and that was, it goes back to high school, and I was in dance team, and I got in trouble all the time because dance is really about like conforming, like the dance, like the drill team, you know, it's not, you think it's like dance and be, no, it's like be the same as everyone else and wear your gloves and all these other things. So anyway, long story short, I had paid to do what do they call it when you dance all by yourself? A solo performance. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was totally spacing out. A solo performance, but true to my nature, I waited too long and I didn't really plan anything out. So I'm there and we're watching all these other people, and I'm like, I could go out there and make something up better than that. I had a lot of gusto back then. Anyway, so I asked someone if they had any music. Someone had Aerosmith. Someone else let me borrow a leotard. Whatever. I didn't even know how long. I was like, cut it at a minute, 30 seconds. I'm not going to have any concept of time when I'm up there. So at a minute, 15 seconds, yell, go Jen, and I'll know that I have 15 seconds left. And I mean, I didn't even know, the song was like Crazy by Aerosmith. And so I had like all this mix match leotards on. I don't even know. I felt like I was in an MTV video. And the music started, and I was out there just dancing away, just not knowing what I was doing. My team's going crazy. And I think the other teams were like, she's not that good, you know? But they know that I'm just making it up. And then it was like, at 1:15, they yelled, go Jen. And I mean, I was starting to get really nervous because I was like running out of things to do. And I like did all these spins, and then I felt like I was gonna fall over, and I stopped. And then the music stopped, And then I looked at my team, and everyone was like, "What?" And I got so many demerits when I got back for making a mockery of the competition. But everyone thought I was cool, so it was worth it. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks, guys.
Now you will always think of you as in these funny leotards doing that. So the next speaker is Lyn Graft, who is going to tell you about making explainer videos and everything else. And I hope this time his computer doesn't go
Firewire?
Yes.
You got HDMI on there?
You have HDMI? So while we're doing this, somebody can come and sing maybe. No? Oh, thanks, Jim. Are you singing it or are you writing?
Showing?
Put it on slideshow. If it's PowerPoint, then if you put it on slideshow.
I don't think it's outputting from here.
No, don't worry about it. Sorry, some people have to watch you over there. It's not okay.
Good evening. We only have one window to your left, or to your right, depending on which way you're facing. And it's going to go in and out.
When we do this center, I'm gonna ask somebody to come and have a look at it while you're talking. I should be listening.
Will you kick it to the first slide? I'll do it. I might do it. Take two. Lyn Graft, I am a video producer. A little bit of background on myself. I started out as an electrical engineer in my undergrad because I was good in math. When I got into my undergraduate degree, I decided that I was much more social than all the introverts that were in my engineering classes. So even though I worked for a couple years as an engineer, I decided to quit my job. I taught ski instruction for a couple years as I was looking at grad schools. And on the lift chair, I got to meet a lot of people teaching skiing for those times. Lived in my car, having a great time, and I love the sparkle in the eyes of business owners. That they worked harder than everybody else, but they were the folks that loved what they did and always were coming up to the mountain for a couple days, but were eager to get back. Stressed out as all hell, but really loving what they do. So I started getting the entrepreneurial bug at that point in time. Led me to the University of Texas, that's how I got here. So I transitioned, got my MBA here, and eventually I decided to pursue the startup world. And I worked for a startup, then I did my own startup for a couple of years, and did that for a while, did very well with this company, raised about $7 million, covered Wall Street Journal, USA Today, and then we crashed and burned just as bad as we rose to the top. I learned a lot in that experience that I didn't want to do high-tech software anymore, but I wanted to do something that I loved, I was good at, and that hopefully one day I could make a lot of money at. And my business partner approached me and says, hey, I want to do this television show about women CEOs in the high-tech space raising capital in Texas, because that was a company we had just done before. And I said, sure thing, I'll help you. I didn't know anything about television or video or movies or anything. But I learned, 5 hours a week turned into 10 hours a week. We got our first paying gig doing a piece for the University of Texas IC Squared Group. And we filmed 3 billionaires in my first paid project ever. And that was back in 2003, and I've been doing it for 14 years ever since. So I produced about, this thing comes flashing in and out, you can't really tell. It's kind of like a Twilight Zone here. So over the last 14 years, I've filmed over 500 entrepreneurs, producing 800 videos in that time frame. And predominantly, I focus on entrepreneurial content. I'm either filming very successful entrepreneurs, companies that are in a fast growth space that are gonna be famous entrepreneurs, or I'm creating content that is for an entrepreneurial medium, such as Entrepreneur Magazine, CNBC, Dell, Microsoft, and a variety of startups that some here in town, some Silicon Valley. everything that you can think of. So over the course of 14 years, I've filmed almost every type of video that you can think of, from television on down to things that you play on YouTube, to your company website, conferences, you name it, I've kind of done it. And with a strong focus on entrepreneurs. So I live and breathe the startup world, the entrepreneurial space. So for me, I'm very story focused. That is one thing that I really try to teach entrepreneurs, that your story is one of the most important things that you have. Often, as a business owner, it's the only asset you have is your story. And you can use your story for almost anything you can imagine as a business owner. Fundraising, recruiting, sales, partnerships. I once raised $50,000 on a kind of a flip chart type thing in the course of an hour. I tried getting a copier fax machine, this was back in the late 1990s, to our office. It took me 5 weeks to convince the copy fax machine company to allow us to put a fax machine and sign a 3-year lease with them. So if you can imagine, I was using stories for both of them, but this goes to show you that the story is one of the most diverse and powerful assets that you can use. Today I want to focus specifically on, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Click to the next one. If you look over there, those are some of the founders I've filmed over the last 14 years. And I've been real fortunate to be around these amazing storytellers. The founders of Starbucks, the founder of Whole Foods here in town, Sweet Leaf Tea here in town as well, so Trader Joe's, the Harley Davidson family, Hugh Hefner, his daughter Christy Hefner. Because of the opportunities I've been given to create content for CNBC, Entrepreneur Magazine, and a variety of other companies, I've been around very successful entrepreneurs. So I've learned from the best of the best from a storytelling perspective. And there are two things I wanted to talk about with you today. Next slide. First, I want to talk about explainer videos. Can you see that? I don't even know what that middle thing is. Oh, you know what that is? Hold on. That's the Wi-Fi. I think that's the Wi-Fi kicking in. Hold on. How do you minimize? On this one show. This is just a split bar. Okay, and go into. One thing about video production, I think Jen hit it already, is that Murphy will always be with you whenever you're producing and creating video content. 14 years, Murphy is my best friend. Who here knows Murphy's Law? Raise your hand. Okay, basically Murphy's Law, for the ones that have not raised your hand, what can go wrong will go wrong. And that's one thing you really have to be prepared for in video production. So whenever this slide appears eventually, explainer videos, the one I'm going to talk about specifically are animated motion graphic videos where you take a 60 to 120 second piece and you explain something very specific. And they're amazingly powerful for complex ideas, or if you want something simple that's compelling and dynamic that you want a lot of control of. So basically the process is this. We focus on a value proposition. Let's say you have a product, and we did this for a company out in Silicon Valley. They had a new relationship information software program, and the general idea was to help you, if you're a Gmail user, and you keep all your contacts in Gmail, you'd be able to use everything that you have in your Gmail system so that it would roll up into a customer relationship management program, CRM tool, if you will. And they asked us to make an explainer video for them. And the reason they asked us to make this video is because they were going to be presenting at a conference in San Francisco that Salesforce was going to be there. And though they wanted this for their website, and they wanted the ability to have their customers come to the site, see the value proposition, know why it was valued, their main goal is they wanted to get the interest of Salesforce. They wanted Salesforce to know that their program does what Salesforce does on steroids for the Gmail audience. The Gmail audience is massive. So if you talk about the goal that they had was very specific, explain the value proposition, but really get the interest of Salesforce. So we designed the explainer video around elements that would highlight things that Salesforce would find compelling and dynamic. The second part about what they did is they explained to us what their value proposition was. So when you're thinking about an explainer video, what you're trying to do, I just break it up in 3 things. And you can do this whether you're talking in person, it can be animated, it can be any story-based thing. It's problem, solution, results. And this is any video that I produce, it's usually broken up into 3 things. And for explainer videos, if you ever want to have it on your website, just break it into 3 things. Focus on the problem, the solution that you have, and the impact results that it can have. And that's the one thing I want to stress to you guys today when it comes to video, specifically for business purposes. Keep it as simple as possible. And you have to be able to articulate in a very simplistic and digestible format for your audience. Because if it's not, there's this 4th grader test that you should apply to it. If a 4th grader can't understand what your value proposition is in your video and in your pitch, then you probably have a problem with it. Everybody wants to throw in all the bells and whistles, the acronyms. They want to make it so much more complex than it needs to be. What you really want to do is simplify, simplify, simplify. Almost every video that you can think of, the more complex, the more simple you have to be. And simple is hard, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it's easy, I'm just saying it's necessary. So keep that in mind whenever you want to do an explainer video, that's what's going on. So keep it simple, 3 things: problem, solution, result. You know who your target audience is. And we'll take, who's got a tech company in here? Anybody? What do you have?
Instructional design and software.
Instructional design software. And who's your target audience?
University students in mathematics and physics.
Okay, so what we would do in his instance is say, okay, who's the target audience? They're students, predominantly, right?
There are 2 different sets of products. Yes, one is for students and one is for other content.
Okay, a great clarification right there. In that instance, it is possible to do a video that addresses both of them. But I'm going to tell you that's a lot harder than making one video for one audience than another video for the other audience. Because what you did when you're trying to make your video be all things to all people, especially in explainer videos, is that you muddy the water. You make it more difficult for them to understand. And then you have to tailor your product to both audiences, which is incredibly harder. Students have a mind of their own. Versus your other audience, oh my God, they have so many other things going on. So what you want to do is understand your target audience, figure out what's important to them, what's going to resonate with them, and in the very beginning, you got to hit them right over the head with the idea. What is the problem you're solving for them? And if it's a student for design issues, it could be something like, are you having troubles figuring out all the crazy, what kind of design is it?
It's instructional content in mathematics and physics.
Okay, so are you having problems understanding the concept of 0 to infinity? Okay, it's an element that might happen in some things in mathematical instructions. So some students might not know what that means. You might hit them over the head with a problem that they're dealing with very specifically. So all I'm trying to say with that is that if you understand your audience, you want to hit them over the head right away with a problem, and then you come in with your solution and you show the impact of the results they can make. Explainer videos are as simple as that. Problem, solution, results. The second thing I'll say about that is shorter is almost always better whenever you're doing explainer videos. I talk to clients all the time, from Dell to that company. Relate IQ was the company I told you about. We did the software for Salesforce that they wanted to pitch. They eventually got bought by Salesforce, so we did help them accomplish their mission. But we're sitting there talking to marketing communications people, and they had a 5-page doc about all the messaging they wanted in this video. And they said, we want this to be 90 seconds. I'm like, there's no way we're going to make this 90 seconds. It's going to be 9 minutes. And there's always this fight between the things you want to say, but the time that you have to articulate your value proposition, your message, and the audience attention span they're going to give you. When it's explainer videos, shorter is always better. Very few companies have an explainer video that needs to be over 2 minutes unless you have an audience that's captive and is going to stay there. Okay. Now, I was going to talk all about time about explainer videos, but I'm going to go to the next slide. We're going to talk about a totally different, opposite end of the spectrum of things that I did. And the reason I want to bring this up is specifically I just rolled up some numbers from 7 videos that I've done and that have gone live over the last 4 months, 7 videos. And these are the metrics you'll see behind them. So it's a variety of different companies. A fitness company, it was an online course company, it is a nonprofit that serves women, and then it was, a tech company out of the Silicon Valley area. Very diverse, wide range of different ideas and content and different things like this. So these type of videos were a story-based video on the individual that founded this. It was content knowledge sharing. It was promotional videos, and then a combination of knowledge sharing, tips and tricks, things like that. And what was really interesting about this dynamic is two questions I always get whenever I'm starting a conversation. I produce videos for business owners. How long should my video be, and how much do I need to spend? Oh my God, I get that question about 4 days a week, literally all the time. How much money should I spend, and how long should my video be? And it's the same question as trying to answer, well, how long is a string? It's really difficult to understand that without knowing so much more about what you're trying to do, who your target audience is, what is your budget range that you have to work with. You know, I've done $250,000 videos, and I've done $1,000 videos. It just depends. There's so much more different. But what's interesting about this, in the explainer videos, shorter is always better. Always. And you always think more expensive is always better. That's not necessarily the case. So if this thing will stay up there, if you guys can catch it when it flashes. Catch it when it flashes. Okay, I'm just going to read these. I don't like to read slides. So I'm going to read it to you guys. 7 videos, and these are all released on Facebook, so I can easily gather the external metrics. These are not their internal metrics. These are what I can see as just going on the website. So 4 months, they've been live from anywhere from 8 to 90 days. They're 30 seconds to 4.75 minutes in. And stay there. Okay. And then the different categories: online course, nonprofit, tech startup, fitness, a huge range in that category. Next slide. Okay, and here are the results if they show up. I'll have to read these. Okay. There we go. So the average of those 7 videos, 42 days they've been live, 198 shares on average, 449 likes and interactions, and an average of 30 comments apiece. That's much more. There's a lot more information there than views, because you know on Facebook views you can't tell what a true view is by just looking at how many views they had, because if someone just scrolls on it, keeps it, that's a view. So to me, that's not a real strong metric. But shares is a strong metric. Yeah. Comments is another strong metric. Interactions, if you can see it right here. And the average was 3 minutes of these videos. That's awesome. And what's fascinating is that the shortest videos that were promo-based about their products or their service were the worst performing out of all of these. The longer format videos that were more story-based, knowledge-sharing, did exceptionally better. If I would have thrown out the 2 bottom ones, the shortest ones, these numbers would have been much, much higher. And it was fascinating to me. One of the videos, it's only been out for a couple weeks. It's got almost 100,000 videos long, and it's almost 5 minutes. So what people don't understand is that when you ask about how long should my video be, is if you have a good story, people will watch it. If that wasn't the case, why would we go see the same movie over and over and over? How many times have you seen Rocky or any popular movie? Watch it over. If it's a good story, and if you can connect with your audience on some type of emotional bridge to them, they are going to watch your story, they're going to pay attention to your story, they're going to tell other people about it. So I beg you, don't worry so much about length. Focus on what's going to make your story very interesting. What's going to make that audience go, man, that's me. I can see myself. In the story-based video that I just shared with you that we launched 2 weeks ago, and this is very common, almost 100,000 views in 2 weeks and 224 shares. That's amazing in 2 weeks. And we ended up spending about 10 grand on that video. So the price ranges for these videos that I just shared with you, $7,500 to $20,000. You don't have to be super expensive. And at the same time, it's really hard to make a compelling video for $2,500. I don't do $2,500 videos. I can't make it a very good video. But I'll tell you what helps keep the cost of that $10,000 video. That may sound like a lot, but if that 100,000 views turns into conversion rates of 2%, and over the course of a year, that could be up 500,000 views, that starts adding up. What that person did is they did a lot of time collecting photos that would reduce my expenditure on having to go buy stock footage or not being able to tell an emotional story, it's a longer video, so I needed more images to tell that story properly. So as you're thinking about what's really interesting about yourself, what can you share about yourself that's going to make people watch this video and share it with other people, think about those embarrassing photos. Think about embarrassing moments that you can share. Think about those epiphanies that you've had, or the problems, or the doubts you've had along those lines. So that's just super important to me. Don't worry so much about length. Worry about what's going to make your story stand out. I'm just going to cut to, does anybody have any questions specifically on explainer videos or story-based videos? Oh, right here first.
How much money do you need to promote the video? Because you're talking production costs.
Yeah.
What about promotion?
I don't have a lot of expertise in that. Most of the companies that are here, they probably averaged, I don't know, 50,000 fans, anywhere from 2,000 fans to 100,000 fans. So pretty broad range in there. Having a strong fan base is how most of them leverage. They did not spend a lot of money on that, but they did have active fan bases. To Jen's point, nowadays, you either need to spend money or you need to partner with somebody who already has an audience. So I do work with clients that they have a relationship with Bank of America. Bank of America is looking for content. This individual has content that's going to be interesting to the Bank of America audience. So rather than go spend a bunch of money promoting and advertising their own content, they leverage the existing installed base of the Bank of America small business customer that's looking for content that already has an installed base, and they're not spending money on that. So that's another way to bootstrap and think of different ways to get your message out there, is partner with companies that already have the audiences. You had a question?
Yes. So you talk about the target audience being, say, VCs or investor potential. So what one should think about what they are looking for, because we have that experience working with the VCs or entrepreneurs. So if you have a story to tell, and if target audience is the VCs or investor, what points should be kept in mind when?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a roundabout thing about storytelling. One of the things that I teach storytelling for a living now. I'm making courses, I'm writing a book about it, and one of the things I focus on very specifically relates to your question directly. Because the venture capitalist, the angel investor, private equity, they have a different objective and needs and wants than your customers do. Or if you're trying to get the media to write about you, they have a different perspective. When it's the media, a reporter is looking for something that their audience is going to want to read, something that's interesting, compelling, that their audience will like. If it's the investor's looking about cash. How is this thing going to make me a 10 times to 100 times return? If it's the customer, it's like, how are they going to solve this hair on fire problem that I got right now? If it's an employee you're trying to recruit, they're coming to work for a great company with a lot of potential, and depending on your company, whether it's things. So you need to think about their end goal, regardless of who your audience is. What I always tell people, when it's your story that you're sharing with somebody else, think about what the audience's end goal is, and how can you relate your story to their end goal. So in that particular example, it's like if you're starting a company that's going to make some type of new drink, like Topo Chico. What you do is Topo Chico's, hold up your bottle right there. This is Topo Chico, one of the most popular mineral drinks on the market right now. What you do is you leverage, we have a new product for the drink industry, and oh, by the way, have you seen the numbers for Topo Chico and how fast they've grown? People may say, why would I want to share a competitor? That's the wrong way to think about it. The investor wants to know, oh my God, that's a massive market, how do we get on that? Well, we've got a new mineral product that's based in Barton Springs or something along those lines. I probably need to go off to my short story. What was I going to tell you about? I have so many embarrassing stories. One time we were making a video for, I was in my startup, I wasn't a video producer, and we were trying to figure out a video to get the attention of the press and venture capitalists, because we were trying to raise a couple $1 million, and this is right about the time of the sock puppet. Remember the sockpuppet.com, very popular thing. So we decided, this is back in 2001, they made this product called Sock Puppet. It's a terrible idea. Pets.com. It was their brand ambassador for Pets.com. Anyways, we came up with this crazy half-cocked idea because I had 4 interns from the University of Texas working for me, and they said, "Oh, let's do a video." I'm like, "Okay, we'll do it." We decided to kidnap the socks, the pets.com sock puppet, and we faked it all. We basically did all these torture scenes where it's like we kidnapped the sock. We showed the abduction when the pet.com was sitting at some type of pool in Lake Austin, and we threw the sock in a burlap bag, brought it back to the thing, and then we put all these scenes from famous movies, from the one where you puts the lotion in the bucket. You know, we did that one, and then we did Silence of the Lambs, and we did another one where it was an old dentist 1960s movie where they would torture the people by putting dentist drills and different things in there. So we had like 5 or 6 scenes. And then we were going to ransom to Pets.com to get their Pets.com sock back. And so that would drive us, and we were looking like $1,000. It was to get us publicity. It was hilarious, stupid type video, but it was funny. We even called up Conan because he had, remember Triumph, Triumph, the cigar speaking hilarious video. We convinced them to let us go on their show to do this, talk about this kidnapping episode. And the stupidest things ever, we talk about asking for permission versus forgiveness. We reached out to pets.com and says, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. We're just giving you a heads up. It's going to be funny." And we got a cease and desist order within 24 hours. So what we should have done is just put the video out there and let it do what it's saying. And then they send us a cease and desist because we hadn't really done anything wrong. It was just funny PR. So that was my embarrassing story. It sucked. I still got to find that video somewhere. Okay. Thank you guys.
So all that stuff turned out to be the HDMI cable. Well, it had a broken HDMI cable, so we replaced it, and hopefully we're going to have any more shaky makies.
So the website again for
Oh, by the way,
Storyteller.
all of our speakers tonight, their slides will be available on our website, and I'll announce a meetup, and if you send me your email address or whatever, I'll send it to you. Yes, apologies.
Okay, so
It will take a few seconds to get on there.
what's the full screen on PDF? Remember? Yeah.
Give an introduction.
Display feature. Full screen.
Oh, yes.
It will hopefully come up on the other one.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I was in a disco. Were y'all freaking out with all the flashing? I was over there going, oh my God, I just can't concentrate. But I am so happy to be here. I'm Laura Lewis, and I do feel like I'm doing stand-up with this, which I've never done stand-up in my life. But anyway, it's kind of fun. And I'm so happy. Thank you, Atta, for inviting me to be a part of this, because it's fascinating, the group of people that you put together on this panel for you guys. And it was fun for me to listen to Jen and Lyn, his aspect about storytelling. Looking forward to Diane. So where do I come in? So a little bit of background for me, because I've got to think about keeping it succinct, because I actually, if someone asked me for my resume, this is a true story, I have a 20-page PDF that tells my resume. Because I've done so much, and it just talks about the fact that I like a lot of different things, and I've done a lot of things in my life, and I accidentally became an expert in this area. See, I'm actually a person that has a degree in nutrition. I ended up being a talk radio host by accident, and had a talk radio show. Ended up becoming an author by accident, ended up being on television by accident, ended up becoming a national TV show host by accident. Sort of like life had this plan for me. But what I truly do love, is I love communication, I love messaging, I love making an impact, I like being memorable, and I love to help others do that too. So, basically, a little bit more of the background. So how did I become an expert in this area in video? Well, going into the realm of shooting a television series, I was hosting a 300, we shot over 230 episodes, which I actually was going to go through a whole history here with you guys, but it's kind of an interesting story, because what ended up happening is that we had a show that was very unique, and it launched in 1997. See, actually what you're looking at right here is a dinosaur.
I'm actually a dinosaur in the world of digital and internet and all that. I am a digital pioneer. Pioneer woman, okay? So how did that happen? Well, in 1996, because I had all this talk radio background, I was doing a show. I love health and wellness. I'm a nutritionist, my goodness. And I was asked to do this other show that was all about the internet. It was called Net Talk. And I said, fine, I'll help you do it. Give me a little segment where I can talk about health. What am I going to do? You're the co-host. Oh, really? Okay, I'm the co-host. Great. Okay, what's the rest? There's a couple more people on the cast. What's my moniker? What am I? Any guesses what you think I was? It was a show about the internet. What my name was? I was Cyber Babe, everybody.
Nice.
I was Cyber Babe. Anybody ever heard of Kim Commando? You ever heard of Kim Commando in the digital arena? They actually, the people that were fans of the show wanted us to go have a duel on the air, Kim Commando and I. I was like, no, I'm too nice. No, I don't think so. So anyway, what was really interesting that happened, gang, so in 1996 it was a radio show. In 1997, this is relevant to video, by the way, because I'm going to come around to why your video must be part of an integrated media marketing platform for whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever messaging you have, going one track, in my opinion, is not the right track. One track, many places, coming back, that's the right way to do it. So anyway, in 1997, all of a sudden we're doing this show. It's on KLAF in Dallas, Texas. Go to 5-state area. Susquehanna owned it, the radio station. And the guy, the genius, who actually ended up becoming my husband for a short time. He's a genius. He's short time. Genius, knew what he was doing. But anyway, he somehow or other said, comes in one day, he says, we're gonna do a television show with the radio show, and we're gonna be on the web at the same time. I said, what? He said, yeah, we're gonna be called Net Talk Live, and our show is going to be broadcast on Mark Cuban's, everybody know who Mark Cuban is? Yes. Okay, on Mark Cuban's first internet venture that was called AudioNet. Him, Todd Wagner, and Mark had AudioNet, and we were going to be the very first regular TV show besides a sporting event. And we were going to do something really unique, radio, TV, web. Now, that's pretty interesting. So we can forward the slide. Thank you. Pause for one moment, because I'll go with my slide. What is integrated media? Any guesses? So we move forward, one more slide. Integrated media, looking up a definition of integrated, with various parts or aspects linked or coordinated together. So what is your one part we're talking about today?
Video.
Video is your one part. What are some other parts?
Sound.
Audio, website, social, yes? Think about all the parts, right? Can you fast forward, please? Our parts of media, video, audio, website, social, online courses, and more. People are also your media. Now, my model, I have a company called Odyssey Star. I just rebranded. And I like to say that Odyssey Star is a mothership. Okay? Now, this is the way I like to look at it. I like to explain to people what we're doing. So with anybody here, you have your own, you're an expert, raise your hand. An expert? Okay.
At something?
At something. Okay, you've got a product, raise your hand. You work for a company, raise your hand. Who's in here? What do you guys want? What do you have that you're trying to promote? Let me know.
Services and
Services? Anybody else? Tell me. I'm sorry?
expertise.
Expert. Anybody else? Tell me, please. I'm dying here. Yes?
Looking for investors.
Looking for investors. Interesting. Okay. So the integrated media model, according to Odyssey Star, the mothership, me, I'm Queen Bee, or Captain, or whatever the heck you want to call it, is basically it's all these aspects of when you take a message and you send all your ships out there. Now, one might be more powerful, which would be video, right? So video is extraordinarily powerful. Why is that? It's like the sparkling little thing, right? When you're scrolling down your feed on Facebook, aren't you looking at the things where people are going like this, it's silent, and they're making like they're doing this? Have you guys ever see that? Do you ever see that in your Facebook feed where you're scrolling down and you see someone doing this on the screen and pointing down and turn on the sound, okay? We like sparkly moving objects, right? So video is very, very dynamic. So video is a very important part of your integrated media platform. So if you have a website, for example, and you have a brand, and you have a messaging, or you're an expert, and you have a product, or you have like a messaging platform that you want to develop, and you're very focused on that, the recommendation would be to, yes, we're going to hone in on your video, make sure your brand is nice, make sure you can have all these other areas that you can send it out on. Is video going to be your main vehicle? Is it going to go out on all these other areas? Likely so. My business, Odyssey Star, I do specialize in wellness and health and medical and that kind of thing. I have a couple of medical clients. One I helped rebrand from last year from a medical dermatologist to a cosmetic dermatologist. So that's one part of my business. Now it's fascinating to take a medical dermatologist and who says, I want to be on video, I want to be on TV. And he's this very shy person. 1 year later, after training him on Facebook Live and training him how to do talking head and doing different things, and we've come all the way down to this other side of it, we're doing really fast, fun, 1 minute videos that are really cool, lots of music, lots of cuts, that kind of thing. Or he's talking about sunscreen, whatever it is. But you know when I knew I was really successful in coaching him with his Facebook Live video was this. Initially he was like this. Then this Facebook Live event came around and I go, okay, we're talking about pool sculpting. So the doctor, I'm coaching the doctor. I've got my Steadicam thing, I'm working with him, coaching him. He's talking like that. And I go, okay, let's do this, go there, do this, whatever. And I said, well, we got to go to the pool sculpting room now. So he goes like this. He goes like this down the hall, like this to the camera. And I'm like, my gosh, I've been successful because I've made this guy that was really, really uptight and everything, allowed him to come out of his shell, just like everybody's talking about, like Jen's talking about, have no fear, get out, do it, whatever it is. This guy is being authentic to his personality. I didn't make him in anything. He's a goofball. I love it. And that's what's worked so well with him. We get lots of beautiful views, lots of traction. And the guy, you know, we've gotten him on the Doctor's TV show. I've only been with him a year. The Doctor's TV show. We also did something recently on the local news. We go, how'd you find us? What do you think? It's social. It's video. We've got his face out there. He's got his expertise out there. It's super important. So I'm all about, gosh, you got like a message. How are we going to do that? How are we going to get it out there, right? You can tell I used to be a dancer, by the way. Choreography. Okay, next slide. I may dance. Now, to finish that story, you can fast forward. I'm going to scroll through this because I started telling you. Once upon a time, in 1997, 20 years ago, so I am a dinosaur, the world's first live triplecast was born. It began as a small radio show, Net Talk, on KLAF radio. Fast forward. This is relevant. And yes, I was on the cast. You can see where I am there? I'm Cyber Babe. Yes. Okay. A fan actually did this for us. That's how crazy it was. The show, you guys, was such an interesting time. Anybody remember going to the movie theater and sitting there and seeing www dot, and everybody goes, what does that mean? What does that mean? Anybody remember that? Does anybody in the room remember that?
Yes.
Jeez. Okay, good, awesome. So the show, right place, right time, we started doing the show, people started to listen, and then it became a TV series, and the people that were watching were people that needed to know, like CEOs and people that were bosses and people that were CTOs, tech people and all that, but they didn't really know everything. So they sat and watched our show. And guys, we had questions that were so simple that the answer from our team of tech guys was reboot your computer. Seriously. And they go, what does that mean? Reboot, okay? Seriously, we go, that means turn it off and turn it back on again, okay? So if we can fast forward. So the fan base grew like crazy. Now, why would it grow like crazy? An integrated media platform. We had visual, which is TV, video. We had radio, and we had web. And we had an active fan base that grew like mad because the genius, my ex-husband, genius marketer, was husband at the time, figured out a way to engage everybody. Lots of giveaways. We got Microsoft involved, Radio Shack. Everybody was like, man, this is hot. This is really hot. So we said, let's do a live event. First one, we had 5,000 people show up. This was 5,000, sorry, screen. 5,000 people showed up. It was a Sunday night. It was rainy. It was cold. 5,000 people showed up at a store to see us do a live event. Now that's kind of cool, isn't it? You go, wow, this is kind of working. What is this? Next thing. Wait, hang on. How many showed up to our second event just 6 months later? Any guesses? Come on, guys. Take a guess. You want to maybe have 10,000, right? So we go to the West End in Dallas. We're going to like, what? 10,000 people show up. This will be cool, right? Giveaways, everything. We're putting it on the web. We're doing all this video stuff. We're doing everything. And 48,000 people showed up. It was the second largest gathering of people in the West End besides Van Halen. I'm not kidding. We were 9,000 short of Van Halen.
Nice.
Now, that was a huge lesson for me. Does integrated media work? Does the power of visual, internet, audio, everything working together cause that kind of thing to happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, by the way, the last season, yes, that's me in Laura's Lounge. We had these cast of characters. We had Gadget Guy. We had Webhead. We ended up having to go through this transformation. 230 original episodes over a 4-year period. It went from a local show to national to we were sending tapes across overseas. It was nuts. It was nuts, you guys. It was crazy. We owned the show, but we were syndicated across a bunch of places. But we became this portal, as you see here, which I actually assisted in designing it with the web guys because I love designing websites and overseeing that kind of thing. But every part means something. Every part is an integrated platform, right? We've got the radio, we've got contests, we've got a variety of things here, right? So when you're planning and executing your launch or whatever you're going to be doing, you want to make sure you're really, really smart. How are you launching it? What are you launching it from? What's home base? What's in it for everybody else? I think Lynn said, you got to think about what people want. What's in it for me, right? You really do. Okay, so the next one. So, as I said, I already told you that part. If you go forward. So, integrated media really, really works. It truly, truly does. I mean, is there any doubt about that at all now with that story? Okay, now, talk about video statistics really quickly here. So the power of video is so strong it should play a key role in integrated media strategy. Everybody here thinking differently now about your brand at all? Anything I've said to make you start going, yes or no? Or you just think I'm crazy? Okay. Next, please. All right, so here's the deal. A few stats. I thought the others might cover this, and I didn't want to get really too far into it, but video and social posts, and it's going to change every day. They get 10 times more engagement, meaning the shares, meaning the views and that kind of thing. 10 times more engagement. Did you guys know the statistic about video? If you have a video on your website, you're 53 times more likely to show up on the first page of a Google search if you have a video on your website. Yes. Also, emails. Does anybody do emails or e-blasts, that kind of thing? Anybody do that kind of thing?
Yep.
Yes? No? Okay.
Yep.
Emails, so you send an email newsletter. If there's a video in your email newsletter e-blast, you're going to get 100% more likely to click on the link. Now, why would you not want to do video? Right? So let's go ahead and... So here are my little tips. 1, be smart with video. And what that means to me is this. I know that Jen and Lynn come from 2 different places regarding video. I have been at both ends of the scale. The last 13 episodes of our TV show was $1 million. And I've also been involved in doing 8 30-minute shows in one day on a major tight budget, half hour. I know what it takes. So here's the thing though. Quality. Doesn't have to be great lighting, great sound, but quality would mean delivery. So are you looking in the lens? Are you succinct? Do you have a 1, 2, 3 approach? Don't get freaked out. Now, I am a little picky. I like to have nice lighting, nice sound. Drives me a little crazy because I've been in this world a really long time. But I always encourage people to think about it. Be smart with your video. Yes, be fearless, but think. Think what you're going to say. High quality matters, in my opinion. Be fearless, go live. Share your video across all of your platforms. In particular, I really like the idea, the bottom one here, is that when you have a video, that if you don't want to just take a YouTube URL and share it to Facebook. And why is that? Because Facebook likes an original video.
Yeah.
they want a native video to their platform. They don't really want to promote YouTube, right? So you can still take that video and move it over to YouTube. Now, the second to last one there, create a YouTube library, become the expert in your category. I am a gigantic believer in creating a YouTube channel where you're an expert or your product or whatever. Building it up. What are people searching for? Search terms, sentences, I mean, what are you typing in, right? I mean, the thing about the chicken, chicken recipe, some people are searching for that, I guess, right? So when I work with my medical clients, over the years, I have a plastic surgeon in Dallas. I've got this cosmetic dermatologist here. I've worked with, allergists. I just happen to work with a few of those people. Although my Odyssey Star is about building up experts and platforms and integrated media platforms for those people to create a nice, strong website, nice, strong social, maybe membership, all that stuff. But I talk to the doctors, the allergists, I say, what are people looking for? He said, I got a list of 100 questions. Then you have 100 videos for your library, right? And also the other thing is too about the story, the Lyn talking about storytelling. Yes, you can do storytelling, that's a really great thing. I've experimented a bit with that space and been just doing videos with these little doctors, right? Not little, but you know what I mean. So if there's more like to the personality, so there's a 6-minute video I did with a doctor where he's getting a treatment, right? And he's telling stories about how he got this red neck and he was riding, and he'd ride his bike through Tennessee and whatever else. The story is engaging and more people will watch that. Whereas I might have a 1-minute video on Instagram that's featuring something else. So you just sort of decide what your mix is really. I mean, that's what I encourage you to think about. The integrated media platform, decide what kind of mix you want to have. If you want to have your talking head mix with an expert explainer video, if you want to have a fun, hot, cool thing for your product, if you want to have a nice long Facebook Live event and create a nice, wonderful mix, it's going to make you very, very magnetic on Google, very magnetic on all of the platforms online. So I don't think I have anything else after that. So basically, video should play a key role in your integrated media marketing strategy, and we understand what that is now. Yes, we're excited. We are. Yes. Okay. Good. Now go forth and conquer. All right. Okay. Funny story. You ready? All right, Jen. I was a drill team girl.
You were probably like
I was captain,
right? Yeah.
Heck yes, baby. I was captain of the drill team. I was captain of the Planoettes. Plano, Texas. That's right. Even though I was a girl from New Jersey, New York, and Philadelphia, I came down to Texas sophomore in high school. And I was seriously, I'll tell you two parts of this real quick. In New York, where I moved from, down to Texas, Plano, and Plano is this big, okay? And I walked into the gym one day on a Friday, and I saw all these girls, 50-something girls, all pose. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Because we didn't have, someone said, there's a drill team. I said, a drill team has guns and flags. What the heck are you talking about? Guns and flags, And so I watched them dance, and it was really fun. And I was like, oh, that's great. I go, I've had lots of dance. I can do that. And I did, and then I became captain. I was running the whole thing. I was 16 as a senior. I'm like, oh, I'm head of the drill team.
Nice.
There's 65 girls. So here we are at a football game. Anybody football fans in here? Woo-hoo! Yeah, ooh, okay. So the drill team. There I'm on the sideline with my team. It's about to be the half, right? So we got to get from one side to the stadium to the other because we had to perform on the other side. So we're all doing our thing, I got my whistle. I'm in charge. I'm in charge. And we go around, and all of a sudden, see, it's a playoff game, by the way. So I'm thinking we had to stop for a second. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get him going again. So I take my whistle, and I blow my whistle. And I blow my whistle, and I drop it, and all of a sudden, chaos happens on the football field. And everybody's looking around, and they're all like this. And I'm going like this. Don't look over there. Don't let them know I just blew that whistle, and they have no idea I blew that whistle. Because we faked it so well. Except a few people, like my principal. He still talks about it to this day. He's a friend of mine. Laura, I'll never forget when you blew that whistle playoff game, you stopped everybody. So that is my funny story. So thank you very much, everybody.
You were the one giving me
demerits.
Thank you, my friend.
You know what that was like?
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. In that space, actually, I'm not
Being strangely helpful. I know. It's really out of character. It's really out of character for me.
somehow I doubt that.
The last one. Just kidding. All right, let's get this party started here. So here's what we're going to do. I know it's supposed to be about me, but it's not. It's about you. So I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to do something kind of different. We're going to pretend like you are the viewers on Periscope. So you're going to get to experience Periscope. First of all, how many of you have done any live streaming? Maybe on this side. Right? Really quick, rattle out loud, because this is how it is on Periscope. What app platform do you use? Just yell it out loud.
Facebook.
That's what it's like. Just like that. Did you hear that? That's Periscope. So what happens is it's confusing. It's scary, and you're afraid you're going to miss something. Okay? So forget just turning on the camera. There's all this stuff that goes on. So we're about to talk about that. So, how many people have not done a broadcast before, ever? Raise your hand. Great. Okay. Excellent. All right. How many people would like to do a broadcast and haven't done one yet? What about you guys? What are you doing in my Periscope? It's a little like that, though. People come in, and I'm not calling you a looky-loo, but what happens is people want to check it out, right? Yeah. So the goal is try to figure out who's in the broadcast. Now, my goal is to try to figure out what he's here for. So now I'm going to ask another question. What would you like to hear today that might help you with what you're trying to accomplish with live streaming? Go. You. Yeah, you. Go ahead.
I have not thought about it.
Not to talk about it. Okay, and that's okay.
I have not thought about it.
Not okay. See, and that's okay. Do you see how everything's just okay? Like it's just okay, and that's all right. So we're good. We're all good. Okay, so here's how it works. So now we know who's kind of in the room. We heard all the people yell out what they do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, and we've got a pretty good idea that people are interested in Periscope and streaming. And now I'm going to ask you how many times, this is the last question, how many times, and you can do it in hands, if it's more than 10, 2 hands, I got it. But, you know, so how many times have you gone live on whatever platform you've done on live stream? So you go finger up, you put 2 hands, I'll know, you know, two hands, okay. 6 times.
Several hundred.
Okay, great.
Wow.
All right, so now those of you that did that and spoke up, I'd like to invite you to be my co-host. See, he's doing great, he's talking. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is those people who spoke up, you're now my co-host. Okay? So I'm going to ask, if it's okay, can I have you like answer some questions as we go, and you guys too? Sure, right? Okay, cool. So now we've got some engagement going, right? We got stuff happening, we know the people around here, we know who's going to help us. We created something we call relationship and community. You guys kind of know each other now. I feel like I know you. You kind of feel like you know me, but I haven't said anything yet. But you know what the rules are and how we're going to play this game. We're going to have fun, right? So now the engagement's up. Now, how does this work? Just a couple of most important things. It's always about the relationship. It is never about me. Who has a good relationship with someone when it's all about you? Want to have a good relationship? Make it all about the other person, and they'll think you have a great relationship. The best, right? So the first thing I have to do is I have to acknowledge you. Acknowledge everybody that walks in or had a comment, especially those people who are my co-hosts, who are now going to contribute to this Periscope that we're doing here live amongst my viewers and fans. Okay? So, acknowledging, right? Greeting people as they come in, asking questions to find out, because the minute somebody responds, and this is in marketing too, right? As soon as they click, they buy something, they do anything, it's like this. You go into a party, it's a lot of people there, right? The host doesn't recognize you, right? So what do? Oh, I don't know anybody here, and you leave. Right? No, but the host this time recognized you, right? So they know you're here. Ah, geez. Now I gotta let them know I gotta run. You know, they're gonna start a conversation with you. They're not gonna walk out because, you know, it just doesn't feel right to walk out if they took the time to acknowledge and they know that you're there.
That's true.
Right? Gosh, it's just not any different on Periscope than it is in real life. Amazing. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what to do on Periscope. And I don't even know you. So here's how it works. First of all, you know your customer. You know who your fan base is. You know your content. So I'm going to break it down really, really simple. If you're an artist, they probably want to get value out of it by being what? Entertained, right? Because anybody that reads your title, your image, because there's an image that shows up, right? When you go live, that's a title in there, and it'll say, "Hey, just strumming my guitar." So who's going to show up when they see that? People that like music. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to entertain. All right. Let's say you are the brain scientist. Okay, you're going to be talking about neurological things. It happens on Periscope. It really does. And so, should your topic be funny? You can probably find some good content in there, but probably not a good idea because they're intellectual. What matters to them? What's their value? Science, research, data, is factual, right? So, what should your content be? Should be that. So here's how to line it up. You know, you want to look at the persona that you're targeting and figure out what is important to them. It doesn't necessarily have to be just the content. Start with the basics. Am I entertaining? Is it a utility thing? I'm an entrepreneur. I want to know how to make money and save money, right? If I'm a mom, stay at home, I'm probably going to want to clip coupons, save money, figure out how to handle my kids, you know, learn how to cook. You get it? Like there's a utility that you provide. If you're doing yoga, there's a utility of zenfulness. Bring it. Okay? So does anybody have any questions about what that would look like for your category? Blurt one out. Where's my coach? What do you got?
In terms of what? Utility value?
Yeah, utility value for your target audience or who you would go live on with.
Essentially, it's usually about how to affect change. It's about change management inside your organization. But it has to be something that has that utility value because they're there to take and to get.
Exactly. What about you?
Information for newcomers to Aussie.
Okay, so what's important to them? They need to know how to get around. They need to know not make mistakes. So do you see how simple content creation becomes? You keep it that way. Like what's important to people? What matters to them, right? Okay, cool. All right, so now you know the most important part. So now let's take it the rest of the way. By the way, you don't know this, but this is all going live on Periscope. So if you want to go watch it tomorrow, go find me on Periscope, go to my broadcast section and watch it again. It'll be right there for you. And you can also go later to the website and get it up there. Okay, so here we go. So let's get started. So you got warmed up? We know what we're doing. All right, so here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to break it down for you guys because what you really have to understand is why am I going to make this investment? And this is, it's going to make sense, but you're going to have an aha moment. If you do, please raise your hand. Okay, go ahead. All right, so this is a statement, by the way. I'm Diane Bernard. I'm Chief Marketing Officer. I'm a marketing agency for 20 years. I'm a speaker at CES, Digital Hollywood, and Variety Entertainment. And when I go there, I talk about social television, which is the cross-section between technology, marketing, social media, and that's it. And I do believe that live stream done properly is a game changer for entrepreneurs. And we're going to find out why. Okay, so before we begin, I want to tell you, this is what we just did, by the way. So copy that, take a picture. This is the broadcast, step by step, all of it. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, just follow those steps. That's it, guys. We're done. All right, thank you. It was a great time. Oh, wait. We're not done. All right, go ahead. Next. Okay. Oh, no. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so what we want to talk about, interesting, didn't copy over right. Okay, that's okay, is how do we create a front door? How do we create a place where people arrive and they know what I'm about? Because I don't have time to go through all this, because it would just be a boring, I can tell you about me, but I'd rather you read it later when you feel like it. So here it is. Put your profile up. Do not leave that little thing that they give you for your picture without a picture in it. Do not do that. In Periscope, it's an egg. If you want to be called an egghead, leave it. Okay. Do not put your logo unless you're a company. Companies do not know how to speak into microphone. So do not put a logo unless you absolutely have to. Okay. Topics and interests. Put that in your profile. People can't find you unless you put information. Everybody's always afraid to say, well, I like flying kites. I don't want people to know that. Doesn't matter. Put it up there. You're interesting. You're human. Put it up there. Okay. Put where your product is. Your product page. Put a URL in there. Put your IG address. Put your email address. Put an offer. Oh, people love offers. If you're going to give away a free book, if they write to you on Twitter, put it up there. Let them know. And show times. Okay, so some of you would be like, it's whatever. But, you need to pick times. And we talked about continuity is important. So when you get to that place, put it on your profile. I'm going to tell you in a minute why. Okay. Now, nobody likes to be a graphics person unless you're a graphics person. None of us are creative enough, and we don't live up to that. So what I'm going to tell you is, little secret, if you don't know about Canva.com, write it down now, because it's like Adobe for dummies.
Yeah.
I use it all the time. And what you can do is it'll literally make it the perfect size, because this is the part that everybody hates. What size is that thing? What? It doesn't fit. It's this big and the space is that wide. What the heck? So it'll actually put it in a Facebook size, a YouTube size, an Instagram size. You got it. Okay. So use Canva, and it's free unless you use one of their pictures, and it's like $1. It's worth it. It's cheaper than any kind of graphics you pay for. All right. Now, social invite is really important, guys. You've got to be able to invite your fans in advance. Give them some warning. Forgot. You can't go. Everybody complains like, well, I went there and only 2 people showed up. Well, who'd you tell? Nobody. Okay. Well, then those 2 people just crossed your path incidentally, and you got nobody, really. So here's how you do it. So the goal is this, guys. Post. Start talking about a week in advance. If you're already broadcasting a week in advance, talk about what's coming. I call it a package. You like that? I call it a package. I go, next week, this is what we're going to do. 1, 2, and 3. Don't make it more than 3. And here's what you're going to get out of it. And if you have an offer, those people who stay, I'm going to give you a deal on something. So show up, because I'll know, because we have analytics. So that is how you wind up and get people coming. Give them something. That's all that you're there to do, is give them information, give them your product for free, give them whatever, because the minute they take any of that, you got them. They're in. They're not going anywhere. And you will be able to convert those guys into, I'm going to tell you how in a minute, you're going to be able to convert them into customers. Now, I'm giving you the 10x version, so stay with me, because what I just gave you, we're going to build on top of it. There's 10 X's. One of those is 10%, 2 of them is 20, and so on and so forth, okay? Package is where you broadcast. We talked about that, so don't miss it. Marketing campaigns. Those things that no one really knows what it means. Marketing campaigns are this for a live stream. It's nothing more than teeing up what you're going to do in a way that's so enthusiastic for your particular group. Like if it's science, tell them some breaking news about the science you're about to release or talk about. Okay. If it is nutrition, talk about, oh, I got to break away on this one. So, I hate to talk about weight, but I can do that because I'm a woman. You can't talk about my weight, but I can. So let's talk about weight. So if you were selling pills, diet pills, to someone who's overweight, what would you pitch them? Go. No, I won't do that to you. Go. What would you pitch to someone who is selling diet pills to someone overweight?
What would I pitch to the seller?
Yeah, to someone who's overweight that would like to lose some weight.
Oh, to buy.
Yeah, right.
Image of looking healthy and good.
Yeah, that was a good start.
Before and after.
A before and after is good. Okay, I'm about to reveal some interesting things here, guys. There's actually some other reason. I know, guys. You're going, yeah, I know that. I never get it right. You're about to find out why. Because it's actually not about losing weight. They're perfectly happy eating. We're all happy eating. We're all happy gaining weight. It's what you can't have because of the weight that is what you want to present. So, for an example, if I am about to get married, which I'm not, and I want to look great for that bikini that I just got for the honeymoon, that is what means something to me. That's my value. You heard, remember value? That's how you narrow down to a value. So in fact, it's really not the weight. It's looking good, right? So what happens in that case is you can explore niches. Niches are where the riches are, right? The riches are in the niches. So you want to focus on the niches in your business and understand what is the pain, the real pain that those customers are experiencing. And it doesn't have to be personal, it can be professional. Now here's the thing, guys. When we go to B2B, business to business, so we're talking about business doing business with other businesses, they tend to think that this doesn't apply, but it does. Because no one buys anything unless they think that it's going to make them look good. So there's two reasons why people buy. Once you checked off all the boxes of your features and all your benefits, right? We've done that. Now, and trust me, in today's market, everything sounds the same. Even a Volvo sounds like a Maserati. Okay, I'm wrong. Maybe, horsepower-wise, but whatever. So, but the point is it all starts sounding the same. So what makes it different is the pain, okay, that you're solving for. And it lies in two places. How do I look better? How do I get that raise? Is this a huge risk going to make me look bad? Okay? So when you can get them to experience whatever that is, let's say with social proof, because I won't do anything that's risky. I got a great job, I got tenure here, right? So maybe it's social proof. I need to know how many people did this and did well. Or maybe how many women, did your diet pill and it worked for them and they're off married having babies now. Okay, so whatever matters to your customers, you have to go that deep to find what's going to connect and hook them in to what you have. Where are we at? Okay, so that's called a persona, and that's what you want to know. Now, when you're going to get, so now the next thing is, when I told you about the giveaway. Okay, that's the thing, like nobody knows what to give away. Well, what you give them is something that's going to be in their value, right? So what would that be? Maybe in addition to diet pills, you send them discounts for bikinis. You want to find the thing that matters to them in continuing that relationship so that they buy. So the free thing that you give them could be a how-to guide for something. It can be a giveaway, for something that you collaborated with another company and you're sharing in this experience together because they want access to your, fan base or list or whatever, and now you get to give something away. So there's a lot of ways to make a stretch to get that hook into that customer at the same time creating value. It doesn't have to come out of your pocket all the time. It doesn't have to be the same old, same old. You can get really creative. The other thing I want to tell you guys is have a place for them to go once they leave you on Periscope. It gets really lonely when you're gone. So have a landing page set up. Have a place to be able to capture you and send them information as they go. So just create landing page, a lot of free ones out there. Okay, have your shopping cart ready. I can't tell you how many people who decide they're going to line up and going to do business, and then they have no clue. They don't even know how to get access to the shopping cart from Periscope. Get the link, put it in your profile, and then finally show them how to buy. Say, here's how it's going to look like, and like literally click through. You're going to see this, and when you get that, put in your card, talk them through it, believe it or not. Something about talking about even putting in your card like makes it more committed if they do it. It's really crazy. Try it. Okay, next. Oh, what happened here? Hold on, guys. Oh, and by the way, that happens too. Okay, so hold on. Hold on. Let me. Let's get this in. It's in the wrong deck. Let's see if I can get to it. There we go. That's not the deck we had. Yes, it is. It's weird. We have fun. Okay, so let me do this. I'm just going to open up a different book. I don't know why this is. Okay, so let's do this one.
So she doesn't have to do the embarrassing story because this is it.
Yeah, so I wanted to give it to you guys in advance. I like to keep it real. Okay, so this is, there we go. Let's forward. Okay, so what I wanted to do originally, it didn't come up, but notice I just played it by ear. That's kind of how it is in real life. But I want to show you guys this, and we missed one of the slides, but I'll go over it. You see this little thing right here? Has anybody ever seen this graph before? Good. So what it is this. I love when nobody knows the content that I'm presenting because it's like fresh and new, and I've been saying it 100 times. I love it. Okay, so here's what happens. So here's Periscope starts. Da, 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 da. These are all like advanced users, like they test everything, but they're not really buying anything. They're not doing anything. But look at what happens here. Twitter purchases Periscope. Can anybody explain that? You know what that is? I like it. Yeah, it actually was partly that. There was a lot of Americans. We were like, oh, like that. But here's what happens. Twitter allowed Periscope to share on Twitter. And we used hashtags. And look at what happened. Now, there's never been a clear example where sharing your video was more important than this is it right here, guys. It doesn't get any clearer than this. And it never stopped. It just kept going and going. And why? Because as soon as someone on Twitter saw it, guess what they did? They downloaded the app. I'm just sitting there watching somebody else do it. I'm in. So that's what happened. And it just kept growing. So what this is to tell you is this. I started a thing called Perry Marketplace. You can borrow this idea. It was like QVC on Periscope, where you could actually sell stuff, but actually talk to the people buying. Imagine having QVC where they're like actually talking to you. Can you turn that thing around? Oh, is that metal or plastic? And then you buy it. What? That's crazy. That's like going up to the Gatorade and going, was that distilled water that you used? And it's expecting it to talk to you. Okay, so you're getting where I'm going with this, guys. It's a whole new level of engagement that you've got to master, and I gave you some samples. We're going to keep going through this till it like sinks in. You're like, oh, I got it. I know exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to keep going. Okay. All right. Now we are in a new era. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to understand what the value is. You've got to put an investment in, and you heard it from everybody. Do it now. Don't wait. In case you didn't know, my Twitter is Diane Bernard because I was one of the first ones on Twitter. And do you like that? Or do you want to be called, some bizarre weird name because there's nothing left? I mean, come on, really? Come on, marketing people. Okay, so I want to ask you a question. Is it a perfect storm or is it a revolution? So let's take a look. Look at the stuff we get for free. Free YouTube storage. Free, you could go and you can't even get that. Like someone goes to store on something, Dropbox makes you pay for it after a certain amount, right? It's free. You can put as much as you want up on YouTube. Go crazy. The other thing is, this is like advertising. It's free. You can share. All those billions of people on Facebook are there waiting for you. And then there's this live stream, this interactive. We talked about that engagement that's going on. All that's free, guys. If you paid $1 million for 30-second spot, on television, okay? But you don't have that money to do that, right? You guys don't have that kind of money to do it, right? You're entrepreneurs, you're getting started, you're lucky to have a quarter in your pocket right now as we speak. And you're looking at those fries, it's 50 cents. I get it. But here's the thing, you're getting this for free. Why are you not using it? Right? Are you kicking yourself a little bit? Oh, you're good. I love it. I love this face. Okay. So here's the thing. You get all that for free. Remember, you're going to have to invest some time. It's not all free, okay? But you get all that for free. And then over here, look what's happened. It snuck up on you guys. It's all online now. Online transactions. I mean, you could be an artist, and there's a thing called a tip jar that they can put money in your tip jar where you're playing on Periscope. There is no end to what's possible except for your imagination, okay? Now you light up, there's all these broadcasters sharing content, and where there's broadcasters, there's viewers. So what is it? There's one product, there's competition. If there's two, right? And there's a market. Okay, so if you're getting what I'm getting at, is this thing is red hot. Like you can't get any bigger or better than this. And then finally, look at this. You get to build relationships. That engagement that's different than anything else out there, you are always going to be a standout because I can ask you questions so that I can get to the next level of a purchase. I can buy it from you. Okay, so that's what it's about. So take a copy of this because you're about to get into something really good. Okay, in case you didn't know about Periscope, it is a young group. It's 19 through 64, 34 is the majority, mostly, what do we got here, females, is that right? 35, no, mostly males, yeah. So don't get discouraged though, because there's a lot of users on there. Whatever your percentage is, it's okay. And especially if your product's more than $100, you know, if you got a product that's $1,000, $10,000, if you're doing B2B, this still works, guys. You just got to pick your times. You got to know when to go on. Even Hollywood's doing it. They swear they'd never do anything but film, and now they're digital. Good. I get a kick out of that one. Okay, we talked about this. Keep going. We had to go to the new slide. All right, keep going. There we go. Okay, so these are the common mistakes. Broadcast is not about you. So guess what? Get over it. Quit worrying about lighting up that broadcast because it's not about you. It's about them. So now, here's the other thing, guys. Keep in mind that when you look into the camera, you're only going to see you. I mean, unless you're really scary, you shouldn't worry about it. So what's beautiful about that is until you go do that, like some of you that haven't done it yet, you're going to realize you're going to spend so much time looking at yourself, you're going to forget that anybody else is looking at you. Okay? Like, that's just how it really, I swear it really works that way. Because it happened, oh, okay, it happened to me. But maybe it'll happen to you too. Okay, so don't ask, so people don't ask questions or engage with the audience. It's not about me, it's about you. If I don't know what you want, or you, or you, or you, or you, or you, if I don't know what you guys want, I've blown it as a broadcaster. Ask questions, the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay? All right. Also, ask them when's the best time for them. You want to learn really fast? Ask them when's the best time for you to broadcast. Okay, don't be anyone else but yourself. So this has been touched on, but I want to touch on it again my own special kind of way. The sock puppet was famous and popular because it was original. And there's no one like you. So be the sock puppet. All right, that's it. Okay, so broadcast regularly. You heard that. Okay, this is so fun. Okay, this is a true story. Everybody always complains when you're doing live stream that the image is cloudy. And they can't understand why the really top-notch broadcasters have such good quality images. So I decided to do a broadcast on that. I discovered why, the difference. Find out how you can get the same clarity as those top broadcasters. They came in and I told them just wipe your damn lens. They did, and that was the end of it. So, you know, and that's not bait and switch. I gave them what they asked for, but I played with it. You know, played with it. But those are the kinds of things that people don't think about. Just clean your lens. Okay, now the technology stuff. That's always the next thing. Oh gosh, do I have all the right stuff? You just need a phone The best light is white LED. If you want to get started, buy some cheap cowboy lights. Those are the ones that have the little umbrella. But if you really want to do, like, look great, go get yourself a Diva light. They call it a Diva light. Now, the Diva light is really cool because it's actually a ring with LED lights in it that, so when it's on you, it makes all the wrinkles go away and you look fabulous. But in the eyes, you kind of see a little bit of circle in there because they're looking right into it. The camera's actually positioned in the middle and the ring is on the outside. But for you, do it yourself, as I'm about to tell you. This is special. This is special for you. Do it, and I bet there's a couple in here. Just put money on it. So here's what you do. Is it PVC pipe? Is that the plastic stuff that's, okay, good. Good. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I did it anyways. Okay, so you get PVC pipe, and I think I got the 1.5 or 2 inch. And what you do is you get 2 long ones. I did it about 4.5 feet high. I took the T, what are those things? The T things. What is it where you put the PV pipes together and there's like some joint? Thank you. Guys, thank you. And I built a stand. And then I went down to one of those cheap $5 places and bought white, that's cheap, Christmas lights made out of LED from China. And I wrapped it around, from the Hobby Lobby, the Christmas tree wreath thing that you make with ties. And I made my own Diva ring for under 40 bucks.
Nice.
Yeah, those are $2.99 for anybody else who wants to know. Buy from Amazon. Okay, so you see now, we just took down the expense of doing this like way, way down. Okay, you're running out of excuses, guys. All right, let's go. What you can't see down here is your environment matters, guys. I can't tell. Okay, all right, true story. I hope she's not listening to me when I tell you this story. So remember when I told you I did a Perry Marketplace, kind of like QVC? What we did is we lined everybody up, and each time they came on, okay, we interviewed them. Well, she was queued up waiting for her time, and it was getting late because we had a lot of people that wanted to be on QVC, Perry Marketplace. Well, she decided to undress and forgot that her computer was still on with the camera lit, ready to go to be queued up, and I mic'd in over here, and there she was, and I said hello, and she's like, who is that? She's turning around in her bra. And all of a sudden she realized that I'm there, and I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and the rest of the world's looking at her. Anyway, she jumps down and screams, and that was the end of it. So what I'm trying to tell you is, just be prepared when you do broadcasts. Make sure there's nothing that people shouldn't see in the background. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where is this? Support other Periscope. Oh, guys. Yes. Thank you. So support other Periscopers. So, guys, you know, Periscope is just no different than real life. If you just observe your own real life, you're going to know exactly what to do in Periscope. So, how many tools do you get? I want you to answer this one. When you go and meet the guy next door, how big does your tool chest grow when you meet the guy next door that's a plumber? I'm just saying.
It's smaller.
No, but suddenly now you can borrow things and ask for stuff. Girls know that because we share stuff all the time, so I didn't want to use you guys because we're like, oh, so they do it all the time. But guys do it too.
I think at least I tend to buy it.
Yeah. Well, all right then, fine. Okay, but wait. What if it was a Gravely? I mean, like a massive horsepower Gravely, and he was offering to let you borrow it. So the point is this, but I get your point too. The point is this. When you make friends on Periscope, and this is what it entails, you literally go to their Periscope and you watch it. So, okay, give some hearts, and that's tapping, guys. If you can't do this, seriously, that's it. Make a few comments. Show that you're neighborly. Let me tell you what that buys you. Have a conversation inside. What do you do?
Instructional design.
Teaching? Great. Okay. So I'm going to tell you how to find people who care about that on Periscope, because there's millions of people every day on Periscope. But I'm going to tell you how to find your group. How's that? Okay. So what you do is you want to participate in instructional video over here. Now you pick your market, whatever it is. What you're going to do is go to Twitter. Remember the Twitter? Remember they bought it, so they're connected now. Go to Twitter and put hashtag education, instructional visual,
Higher ed, ed tech.
higher ed. Do them all. Do each one of those. What happens when you put that hashtag and Periscope is going to be everybody that's on Periscope that does that, that cares about that, that's broadcasting that. And those people that are attending those broadcasts are your... Yeah. So talk in there. Tell them who you are. Say, hey, follow them. Give lots of hearts, because everybody follows people that give hearts. Who doesn't want a friend like that? Mm-hmm. So this is all like real life stuff, right? And how much of that can you do? Didn't take a whole lot to figure that out, right? But it's common sense. Did you have a few ahas while we were doing this? Just a little? Okay, cool. So, all right. So it's all about relationship and transparency. Now here's the thing. Transparency is that things are going to break. Things aren't going to go well. This is just how it works. That's it. That's all it is. So let's go ahead and hit again. We're going to start going a little faster. Okay, so let me see. I believe we're still on Periscope. I wanted to show you guys a few seconds of what it's like to be on Periscope. Let's see if we're still here. Let's see if we're still live. We're not live anymore. So, but I wanted you guys to see what it was like. Now, this is the Periscope that's been going on. This is now on replay. One of the things you want to do is remember when you're doing live stream that it goes to video and people are going to watch you when you're gone. So what you want to do is talk to them, just like we did. So if you weren't here, you're at home now, I'd go, hey, if you come back and watch this again, just know that we want you here, and go ahead and follow us anyways, and we're glad you're here. Even though you're not really, I'm not here, but I still care about you guys. So I always say to replays, if you're coming in on replays, just know that this is what we're doing, and stay with us, come back, and we're going to do this again, and I give them a date and time, so you can come back live, or to tweet me if they have any questions, and that's it. I just give them a little something, something. Because what did I say? 1 is 10, 2 is 20, 3 is 30. I keep adding it. Now here's the other thing. Once I've given you guys all this stuff, I've told you how to do instructional videos, I've shared with you guys all this stuff, now I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Would you be all right with doing that? Okay, cool. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to share this video with your friends. Now, I'm going to have to keep in mind there's people who probably just showed up at Periscope first time. They don't even know what you're talking about. They don't know where that button is. And there's going to be people doing it for a long time, have a lot of followers. But I'm going to ask you to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. You know why? Because I'm about to share something really important with you guys. And your fans are going to want to know that. And they don't want to miss it in the middle of it. They're going to want to know in advance. They're going to thank you for bringing them in here, right? So you're going to ask them to share. Would you share? You would, wouldn't you? Would you share? Probably. And you know why? Because we've had an investment in exchange together now. And that is what makes live stream work. And if you didn't experience it here and feel a connection with us, like you and me, like we all know each other now, like I know you guys, I know you. I feel like I know every one of you. I can just look at your faces and kind of know what's going on. So I just feel like I know you, but maybe I'm wrong. So, okay, so what you're seeing, is going on. This is it. That's all there is. That's all there is. That's done. Okay, what didn't come up, and I was hoping it was, and I don't really know why it didn't come up, and it's really important, is there's actually a formula to selling. And maybe this is where I go, you know what, guys? We're going to have another class, and if you want to learn how to do it, you're going to come and follow me, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. But I want to tell you guys this. There's a formula that's upside down to the way we do it in real world. Because the way that it works is this. I have to tell you who I am, all right? Because you're not even going to listen unless I qualify why you're here. And I'm going to say if you guys are entrepreneurs and you're struggling to figure out how to get your arms around live streaming and how to sell, is this even worth my time? I mean, whatever questions you have, I had the same ones too. I started just like you. I did this because my business required me to understand how I was going to grow when all this shit was going on. Live stream, Facebook. I hated every minute of it. How many of you are like that? Like, why do we have to do social media? Right? Come on, the elephant's in the room, guys. It's like, why? So I hated every minute of it, but now I like it. So bear with it. But here's the thing. You introduce yourself, qualify who you are. Write this down or come to my next class for free. By the way, it's free. Just join me on Periscope. The second part is tell them why they're here. Why? Because you're here to learn how you can transform your business with free live streaming and be able to compete with big brands and find your customer. I told you how to do it. Does everybody knows how to find their customer now, right? How to find where to go to find them. All right. The other thing after that becomes you need to explain to them in a persona the value that you bring. If you're trying to get into your bathing suit for after your in your wedding, right? Then this is the show you need to come to, right? I've sold you. If you want to be able to increase to $1 million in sales of revenue for your instructional video in higher education, then you're going to want to come to this video. Do you understand that? You've heard that kind of comment before. That's where this comes in. Then I'm going to deliver like heck. I'm going to give you. I'm even going to give you something for free. Like my class coming up, you guys can come to free and learn about high performance live stream marketing. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you for a favor. I'm going to ask you to come and click on something. I'm going to ask you to share. I'm going to ask you to do something. You see the formula coming out? And then once you do go to my page and you see all the people that like me, they like me. And even better is if I have a lot of followers, that must be liking me if I've got followers, right? But whatever it is for them qualifies you as someone they want to go talk to. Now I'm going to ask you to share. Okay, and then you click. Now once I've clicked, what did we say earlier? Once you've clicked, you're going to buy from me. The chances are so great that you're going to buy from me. So is it worth taking the investment and doing that? That's it. That's that. I just gave you my book that I'm writing. God. It's got more pages in it. Just read that first section. Okay. So that is live stream. It's easy, it's simple. I gave you stuff so that you can get comfortable with it. How you structure marketing automation, how you develop crazy, wonderful videos to accompany that in the marketing parts, or create continuity between your content and your live stream so people see you, and then when they see a video of you, they still feel connected to you because they liked you live and now they still like your video because it's interesting and it's got your personality in it, and it's like that. So what I want to say to you guys is this. I'm available to share with you and help you more, but I hope that this stuff was helpful in kind of bringing you forward to what live stream is all about. There's so much more to do. What I wanted to do is help you kind of understand how to get started. This is really literally my 101 class, but I show you where to push buttons and stuff, so you want to come to that too. And so if you have any questions, I'll answer them now. If not, I want to thank you guys for being really fabulous.
Embarrassing story.
Oh, I mean, you wanted 3 today. Seriously? An embarrassing story? Okay, this is going to tell you a lot. So, I was a military brat. 7 kids in the family. It was like, my mom's Mexican, my dad's white, farm boy, and we danced and went to church a lot. So I learned the salsa, and we were Holy Roller Baptist. The picture. And we had 7 kids. So my dad, who was a salt of the earth, we always did contributional stuff to the community. We raised money for cystic fibrosis. My brother has cystic fibrosis. I have a brother that had epilepsy, and so we always just contributed because we knew what it was like to have family members who had less. And my dad decided he was going to be a clown. My worst nightmare, and maybe yours too if you don't like clowns. And so it messed me up. No, so I would leave through the back door when my dad was coming back from the Shrine Burn Center after having conducted probably many embarrassing skits with his friends. And so I came in the back door thinking I was hurting my friends out the back door. And my dad had gotten wind of this several times before, and he decided he would head me off at the path. So I'm like going as fast as I can. I'm at the back of the line pushing people out the back door, and the next thing I know, here comes my dad squeaking something so you couldn't miss him. With his big red nose, and I love him and I miss him. He's not here with us now, but you look back and you think how embarrassing, but God love him for doing it. Anyway, so my friends all looked at me and said, Diane, you didn't tell me your dad was a clown. And I have to say, still today, that's my most embarrassing moment. Thank you guys so much. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. You can ask me afterwards, or you can reach me at, so let me see, at Diane Bernard on Twitter. There you go. Thank you guys.
So this is a Q&A section, and I would appreciate the presenters if you wouldn't mind taking your seats up here, and then I'll pass the microphone to whoever wants to ask a question. So I'll go first if you know what he's going to go. Anybody got any questions? Would you like to come and speak at the microphone?
No, I said you go with your question.
I'll do that.
Okay.
So none of y'all directly touched on this, and if it's not your area of expertise, that's fine, but YouTube videos that get enough views can make money. Does anyone know the world of that? Can you explain how you even sign up for that or get qualified for that? Or
I mean, it's so hard to get to that level. And I think that's and I know this isn't going to answer your question, but I think it's more having been through that route. It's so hard to get to that level that the amount of time that you spend trying to get there, unless you're an artist or you just happen to hit it when you get there, and people just happen to fall in love, and you know right away, it's one of those, it's either going to break or it's going to work. And that if you have a heart set on YouTube, I mean, obviously follow your heart and do what you want to do, but I would give some other platforms a chance. YouTube has not been particularly successful in delivering a kind of a live entertainment stream, which is what everybody wants, you know. And with the new, you know, everything, when you do YouTube now, I mean, they have live stream now, right? But it's not a platform that builds community and sharing. It's kind of like a destination. And remember that hockey stick that goes up? It's when you have a community where you can take advantage of other people at the same time you're there. You have to be found. You have to be a destination to find you, right? Unless you have friends, but then what happens then? There's no incentive to share. There's nobody asking you to share. There's no relationship there. So I don't want to discourage you because I don't know exactly what you're doing with that. To me, what I learned is when you have community, you have people around you that can help and support you and help you grow. That's where the real value comes. It's called social currency. And you get that on Periscope, you can get that on Instagram, you can get that on where there's communities where people can gather around you and find you easily.
It's been my experience that the pennies you might make, you're going to lose people if they have to see a 5-second ad. You know what I mean? If they're like, I'm just trying to see how to make ceviche, I ain't got time for that. So for me, I've just decided not to do any sort of advertisement because I'm annoyed. So I don't know, someone said that earlier. It's like you go through the process and see, you know, maybe what that looks like. And to me, I'm super annoyed when I have to watch an ad. And I mean, it's got to be some really compelling content, like how to fix your car with 2 pennies and a masking tape for me to stick around. So I just feel like the pennies isn't worth.
Plus the editing and the time involved to get it to what's YouTube standards, I think, is the other part. Where live streaming, there's just until you start doing it, you don't know. There's a real, honest human connection that happens there that you just can't get YouTube. But don't get me wrong, everything I know comes from YouTube. I mean, everything I've learned. No, because you can find anything on YouTube. It is like Google search for, how-tos or something, I don't know.
I think you can actually, if you do a search on how to make money on YouTube, YouTube has a specific process that you go through. The volume has to be pretty significant in order to generate cash worthy. It is definitely doable, and in the ad space, the game has definitely changed in terms of the quality of the pre-roll ads, what they're using now, video ads, is amazing. And a lot of companies, mostly the online marketing space, which is a whole other underworld, are killing it in that space. But the volume we have to have is pretty substantial. So it costs money to make money. Think of that.
They also just raised the volume as well within the last few months.
Yeah, so, and she's actually right. Probably in the last 2 or 3 years, it keeps raising because YouTube's looking to reduce the amount of money that they're paying a lot of their contributors. So that has, and rightly so, they're growing, they got so much volume, they are the dominant player. YouTube is the number 2 most used search engine in the world. Google's number 1, YouTube's number 2. So they have the ability to control the rates that they charge. There's new segments that are starting to happen within YouTube with live streaming and other things. So I think that you just got to find out what they are. I haven't seen what the segmentation is yet, but it's definitely happening.
I've got a question for you guys. So I've got like an hour a day that I want to spend. What would you suggest I do in that hour? And that's to each one of you.
What's your goal, by the way?
To sell more stuff, to get more engagement, to get whatever you think I should be doing in that hour.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah. It is.
I always break it down to whenever I'm making a video, I figure out what is my goal and what is my target audience first and foremost. And once I have a fundamental understanding of that, then I worry about what makes me unique and different so that people will find what I'm sharing of value or they like my story. So in that hour, if you've identified those 3 things, then to the point, and I think Jen, or I can't remember exactly, it was the one who shared it. One of the things I always recommend people is speak to something that you have a lot of knowledge of. So you obviously have a lot of knowledge of how to create an event to get more than 20 to 40 people every month. So speak to something that you are very comfortable in, or speak in such a way, I don't know nothing about this, I'm going to bring Jen on, because she's an online blogger, and do some of those. So a lot of the tips you heard tonight, I would try to focus on that. So for me, my expertise, I want to be the number 1 entrepreneurial storyteller in the world. That's what I'm going to talk about. I want to talk about something that I come up for the position of expertise, or bring on someone that's going to do it. And that's just the content. There's a whole other thing that they all touched on the technical side of it, which is the camera and all that. But
An hour a day. I would take Sunday to make an editorial calendar. I'm talking to myself right now. And then I would have a theme for every day of the week. I would start off with that. I would say Mondays, I'm going to do Motivation Mondays. I would search for hashtags or things that were popular. And I would say on Mondays, Motivation Monday, Travel Tuesday, Workout Wednesday, Think About It Thursday, Forget About It Friday. I just made those up. Some of those are real. But that you have something and then you just start and you have some little flashcards. Again, even wanting more, right? If you only have 30 seconds, only talk 30 seconds. Don't feel like just waiting for people to show up. Another thing about the live, and I would do live. I mean, I would do live. It's just, editing is so time consuming, you guys. If you ever get to a place that you're editing, oh my gosh, it's so time consuming. And then that's what I've noticed. I'll put out something that I edited for 8 hours, and my Facebook Live video that I just talked off the top of my head gets way more views because Facebook is favoring Facebook Live. So I would do that. I would do a Facebook Live video every day, and I would chart what people are talking about. And I really think that consistency and having a hashtag according to the day of the week, you're going to get different people. But with that hashtag, they're going to say, I want to be motivated today. I want to I want to know how to work out on Wednesday, and just that consistency again.
So my brain goes to branding. And I would spend, if you're really, like right now, if I said, what 1 hour a day you need to do, because that's really where the core of where I come from, is building brands and understanding, who you are, what your product is, whatever. And take that hour and really evaluate every aspect of what you've done to this point, and really look at yourself honestly, if you're the expert, if you have another expert, or what the product is, and really evaluate that. How can you be better? What can you do? We've talked about techniques, and I've learned a lot too today. But I love the idea of being authentic and having high believability, but you want to make sure that you're really congruent with whatever that brand identification that you've created for yourself. Does that make sense? So if you want to go ahead and say, well, who are your competitors? What's your space? Make it simple. Really hone in. And I like the numbers of 3, 1, 2, 3. What are the 3 things you can do to improve what you're doing? Is it the basics? Is it going back to the total basics to where we're talking about buying an LED light, making the Diva light, What is it going to make you look better? And how are you going to sound? What are the 3 things you're going to be talking about? And proceeding forward with that. So I think really getting to the heart is it's kind of where my brain will go. As I say, well, gosh, have you really gone in and really solidified what you are, which we're going to talk about, and then go from there, and then use these beautiful other platforms and get out there. Be courageous and be fearless. Be like a lion and go live and have quality and all that stuff. You know what I mean? This is a lot to think about. But then it's also about being very simple, right? Simplicity and spending that hour being honest, and then identifying what are the steps you need to go to move forward with your brand. Yeah. So loaded. My brain was so for me, because I've owned an agency for 20 years, I always want to get down to the bottom, like, what are we trying to accomplish here? And that's how I spend my day. But to simplify this is assuming that everybody's trying to get an online presence, and live streaming is just a second part of that. Is that about right? Okay, so this is how I would spend my day. First thing I do is I get really clear on what is the persona and what's important. I literally light up the Periscope and I let them know, come tell me what you like about blah, blah, blah. And people love just spewing, right? They come in and I gather all that data up, and then I start breaking up what that content's going to look like, what I'm going to present, what form it's going to be. Now, the second thing I do is repurpose. Once I've done a live stream, guess what I can do? I can take that video, and if you guys follow me or write to me on Twitter, I'll tell you the site is for free. You literally take the audio. When you do video, there's 2 portions, a video and an audio. Take that video, put it up on this site, and it transcribes it. Guess what that is? Oh, it's your blog. Now, if you plan it out really, really well, and you can do it like chapters in a book, there's your book. There's your ebook you're going to give away for free. Remember earlier we were talking about, like, what do I give away? There it is. It was your last 7 or 8 live streams that you transcribed. You didn't, by the way, you didn't have to pay for it. If you haven't noticed a theme here, it's all about not having to pay for stuff. So my day is spent literally starting from the top and working my way down to getting all the pieces met on what I'm going to do, I need to have something I can give away. How can I be creating that? Well, I'm giving a great live stream, giving value, what people want, and delivering. And from that comes sales, right?
My voice will probably carry on a bit. I have a backwards question. And this is for a neighbor that I just thought of when you were asking. I hadn't thought of coming to this at all. I thought of this before I got here. I have a neighbor who has had accidental success on YouTube. I've got, I think, 120,000 followers. It's just a cooking. It is a cooking thing. And it doesn't show her face. She doesn't speak English. And the daughter started filming. Started filming her cooking, and it just caught on. And they're not pushing. They don't push anything. It's just happened. But having that, now their family's facing unemployment. That's why I thought of this. I'm facing so many other things that can happen now. This was just accidental. What can they do now? It's her 19-year-old daughter now that does the uploads. The mom's not techy. But between the mom and the daughter, they might have something they can do or take it from here to support the whole family with that kind of following. What can they do? How can they take it from here?
Oh, I love money-making questions.
So what you want to do with 120,000 followers is you've got to create the opportunity to get them off of YouTube into an email so that you have an email list. Oh, and that's a great set of people because you know exactly what they like. And you can go back and look at which ones did best and which ones didn't. You populate some of those videos. You transcribe some of that content, right? Remember we talked about that? And then bingo, you create a private area where some of those cooking classes they can devour in the backside, but it's going to be a $5 a month or $1.99 a month subscription to get your latest recipes. I don't know what she does. And now you got 149,000. That's a lot of money a month. Hello? A buck? Who wouldn't put a $1.49 for a good burger? Seriously. Like, I want to know. But so the point of it is, you want to make money? You got to think like this. People think, oh, they think too simple. You guys got to know, you got to leverage technology. Don't do the hard work. Let technology do it for you. And but that's what I would do very quickly because it's already there. And there are things that you can put on top of the video, so every time somebody watches it, it redirects them to this private site. You want to get more. You want to get secret recipes that nobody gets from her. Click here. Click there. Guess what happens? They're in the back door to you, and it's all about you and them now. It's you've made it personal. And now you get all the opportunities to upsell them, get them, the $1.99 for subscription. They want more. Oh, that's exactly what I would do. And then more. Oh, lots more. Amazon me. You need to have grill equipment. You name it. Spot. It's Shopify time or whatever. You can even use. I think Amazon has a sellers area so that you don't even have to work that hard. And you're selling other people's stuff. Don't even package a thing. Let them sell somebody else's stuff. Like. I could keep going on and telling you how to make money. It's so easy. That book, sell it on Amazon. Those recipes are how to pick them, put them together, chapterize them. They have a software. All you have to do is load it. It's great. It's amazing. And then promote it back to the people. Because now they don't have to go to the video. They got the book. They got the book. They can sell it. They can buy them in quantities. Do it at Christmas time. I can keep going on. Leslie, I'll share.
Honestly, I was just going to say the same thing right away. The membership site is the way to go with that. She's already got content, identify that brand, you hone in on more on that brand and messaging. But everything she was saying is that's exactly the way it needs to be thought about. You got content, and you go and you just blow out in different areas, truly. But membership sites are it's brilliant.
Okay, so I will say that. Because honestly, I don't know who this person is, but I love helping people, especially like that. And because I came from the military, we were on lower than minimum wage, and so I get it. Yeah. So, but here's the thing. So get a sponsor. So now what's happening is they pay you to get to your customers a lot of money. And I love doing that because I love giving stuff away for free. And it gets you more customers.
If I may suggest, there's a site called FameBit. Have you heard of it? FAMEBIT. If you've got more than 5,000 followers on any platform, they automatically find you sponsors, and you can make like $500 a video or whatever.
But you can make 10,000 if you actually approach somebody. Yeah. More. Just saying. I'm sorry. I don't like big money. I'm just saying.
That was really great, and specifically, I don't know why, but I assumed that she was Latina. No? Well, then forget it. I was going to tell you, there's a website called Latina Collective, and just the Latin market's just blowing up, and they're looking for influencers, and I don't know why I assumed it was. But anyway, there's other sites, because even though I think that's perfectly awesome, if they are I have a hard time creating content to sell. I mean, I have some Amazon books. It's the question everyone asks me all the time, and then I'm like, you want to know how to make video? Here's my book. And they're like, I'd really rather you just tell me. So sometimes it's difficult, and I think it depends on what kind of brain the person has. I'm a creative, yeah, so I just want to keep creating. So if I can get someone like an influencer brand, granted they're going to take their cut for it, but now I don't have to know how to create an ebook or how to, and all those things can be solved. You can find people that can help you, but I just find that some people are just artists. And they just don't know how to, they don't have a business mindset to be like, oh, and let me create a membership site and then charge and let me get a widget, and they're just like, whoa. So I mean, that's something too. Yeah, but they've got a lot of leverage with that many followers. I mean, I'm bringing up Gary again, but he would say that that Instagram is just a gold mine of influencers that have thousands of followers, and he's like, you could probably reach out to them and offer them $50 to promote your brand, and because there's not a structure there already, the way that there is for YouTube, you know, it's like, let us use your video and we'll give you 2 cents or whatever, you know, to roll an ad. Instagram isn't really there yet, so they're just saying there's a big opportunity.
That's it? You're not going to say anything about making money?
There's one.
Right? Yes.
We're going to make a video of you.
Okay. It's just a broad, general question. What do you guys think of the net neutrality situation, and how would it affect the videos and live streaming in general, and also within your own businesses? Do you think it would have any effect?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Basically, net neutrality, the simplest way to think about it is right now there is no control of the pipes in terms of your ability to download data, whether it's video or massive files or any asset digitally. There is no real control over it. If you have fiber, great, no problem. If you have, so you pay for the performance by the providers, but net neutrality, the reason they're trying to not allow the laws to be changed is that the telecommunications companies predominantly, with other parties involved, want to have more control over the pipes, so that if someone in your neighborhood is spending all the bandwidth downloading videos all night to binge watch Game of Thrones, they're sucking a lot of the data, and hence your performance is a little bit less, so that person sucking down more data should pay more. In theory, that works, but it gets so complex exceptionally fast. Is it going to affect our business? Not really, because it's going to take a long time for those changes to take place. It's going to take probably 5 years, because the laws will take a while for the FCC and the other areas to worry about. Long term, yeah, there's definitely a lot of implications, but it's very difficult to say, is it going to impact you as an individual? Probably not. Is it going to impact the businesses? It depends. If your business is focused on some type of pipeline that requires a lot of data feed, and someone's going to control what you can and cannot use and how much you pay for that feed, then absolutely. But for the only area that I've heard about tonight is predominantly live streaming, because of that area has the biggest immediate impact by something like this. Or if you download a lot of video, I do with my clients, but the pipes have gotten so much better. It's going to be a small impact, and it won't be felt for years, in my opinion.
This is an interesting topic, but it's beyond net neutrality, because what you have to think about, you know, we kind of trolleyed along the last 10 years with, when you look at like GDP and all, we said, are we tanked and our economy's not done well, and Well, we're used to counting beans, and you're not growing beans anymore. Yeah, it's going to look like that. But in fact, we've had incredible growth if you consider the value of time, money spent, right, on creating content, and the value of what it's worth that's on the internet and on Google and on YouTube that has been given to us for free. If you counted all of that, there's a different set of numbers. So we're moving towards a real true digital economy. Before, we were in the midst of it at the beginning, trying to figure out what it is. We now know what it is. And so what that means is at some point, our accounting has to catch up. We got to start paying for what we use. And all the stuff that's free that was up here, guys, is going to go away. You're going to start paying for stuff that used to be free, which is kind of sad, because I think we've had an opportunity to educate a lot of people, would you agree, all over the world because of the internet, right? So people who are doing educational will actually improve their
monetary value. But I think everything, education from colleges and all, I mean, I think the whole world's going to change digitally because that is the focus of our economy moving forward. Having said that, I do think we have probably, like you said, 5 years or so before those things start getting addressed and how we decide.
I just want to have a follow-up question.
Sure. No, go ahead.
So I was curious because none of you are using YouTube, right? I mean, you're using Facebook, you're using some Facebook.
I use it all. You gotta be everywhere.
Okay, but to talk mostly about live, and I was just curious about. I mean, it seemed like there was some demographic. How much is the audience demographic of who you're targeting factor into which platform you should use? I mean, you looked at Periscope is pretty young, Instagram is pretty young, Facebook is much broader, much bigger, and YouTube is big by default. So.
Yeah, it's a different party at every place. I mean, it blows me away that I can post something on Facebook and it's crickets and Instagram loves it. You know, I mean, heaven forbid I post anything remote. I mean, I posted to my friend, I mean, I 5,000 friends. Heaven forbid I post something that is remotely promotional, like, hey, come to this video event tonight. It's crickets. I mean, on Instagram, so it's very interesting. It's like on Facebook, people don't want to be your fan, they want to be your friend. But on Instagram, they're fine as long as you are talking about the topic that they want. And over, you know, on Snapchat, I mean, good luck trying to get an audience over there because it's, you know, I'm trying to sign up for everything to figure out, right? Because I have more energy and time than I have money to just, you know, wait till something blows up and then throw all my money at it. But, you know, something like, I just signed up for this thing, you know, it was one of the top apps called Monkey. And I got on there and I was like, oh, I feel creepy. It's all like young kids, you know, like, I don't care how cool this is, I gotta get out. For sure. And so I think for a lot of things, that's where I've stayed so much on Facebook. I just think that the baby boomers just got on to see their grandchildren's picture. They're not going anywhere, you know, I mean, till they
go.
They're probably not going anywhere, you know, and again, Facebook is doing everything they can to make people stay. So it definitely is a different party. What I post on LinkedIn is different than, you know, Twitter. So yeah, you just got to know the party. And I think you'd only know the party by going to the party.
So that's actually a really interesting question. And I like to try to take different angles. You notice I always like coming from a different angle. And because, you know, just to add some color, is that being first to the party garners you a lot of value. So the people who have a lot of followers that started at the beginning, it's because there was nobody else there. so you can't completely be, you can't dismiss the fact that it's not perfect right now. Here's what I would be looking at if I were going to make a decision on a platform. One is it a startup or is it backed by a public company? It's backed by a public company, they're going to do everything they can to make sure you're successful so that they're successful. So Facebook is good, Twitter, Periscope is good, you know, keep going. Now we start getting to the gender thing, right? I mean, an age group thing. So there's Snapchat. People love Snapchat. And so what I would do is I would do some Snapchats. If it's not for you, then more than likely it's not going to be for your clients. That's what I would do. I mean, that's the best way to do it. For me right now, it's Instagram. I like Pinterest, Facebook, and Periscope. Yeah, and YouTube a little bit because I don't know. I just still do YouTube because it's Google. Exactly. I mean, Google Hangouts didn't make it, but you know now they're doing one. Why not? But yeah. So that's how I would address that. Yeah.
I'm just gonna wrap that up in the sense of, you know, it's a mix. You just try to mix, see what the mix, you know, what happens with your particular demo that you're trying to reach, what hits, what doesn't hit. You go away from the one that doesn't hit, then you grow that one. I mean, really. So, and I hang out more about on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is much more beautiful and visual, and it's a different demo, of course. But Facebook is almost like a, you know, slam dunk for a particular older market. Got Facebook ads that work beautifully, Facebook Live, I mean, they got it going on for sure. So if I had to pick one, you know, regarding of the general platforms, it'd be Facebook above all of them, really. but I use the others at the same time, like seasoning.
Great points, all these things, and it's definitely a complex decision set that you have to make. YouTube's definitely, it's the number 2, you have to think about this, YouTube's the number 2 search engine in the world after Google. So predominantly, if you want to be found and drive higher SEO results, YouTube is the best way to go by far from a general search criteria. Interactivity, Facebook is dominating the game. So when I'm talking with my clients such as Dell and Salesforce, all the way down to Deep Eddy here in town, who I've done videos for, to first-time startups, you really have to look at the medium, the target audience. Is it fairly new? What's the demographic that's using it? Snapchat is definitely a millennial generation. Instagram used to be the youngin, but now Snapchat is dominating that space. Pinterest, it's the hobbyists. I mean, it's amazing how powerful Pinterest is, and most people don't use it unless you're a hobbyist. It's incredibly, there are so many elements. It's almost like, okay, enough. Let me just pick one. I'm going to figure that out. To your point, start testing some things. Get help, ask a lot of questions. Every medium has its pros and its cons. Whether you're super large and been around for a long time, 10 years, I mean, how long is that really? Or you're brand new, there are advantages and disadvantages to every platform, and I would try to match that your skill sets with where you can leverage each platform medium. The other thing that we do quite a bit of now, whether it's me producing for a company or I'm collaborating with other entities, is that we produce a longer format piece for their YouTube or their webpage, and then we chop it up into short format pieces. Instagram, Twitter, much better digestible 5 to 30 second pieces. YouTube can be whatever length you want. If it's on your homepage, you typically want it shorter than what's on your about page. I mean, literally, it just gets a mess very quickly. And I'm talking to corporations that have 20 to 30 person teams that figure this out. So you're not alone in that question. Just, I would say, figure out what your skill sets are, the medium that you want to know best, test it, try it out, and try to figure it out from there.
There's one thing about Periscope, though, that I think it's worth mentioning. And I'm working with some other people building social platforms right now. And the people that are building social platforms in the future, the thing they're trying to figure out, is it better to have structure or organic and be free? And so let me explain what that means. So Facebook has structure. It tells you what your page is going to look like. It tells you what you can and cannot do. And you can't cross over the other fence unless you pay for it. The groups are often closed. The pages, are have designated little groups in there, but it's not wide open. It's not like what you have. So with Periscope, anybody can see you. They just come in, it's organic. And the same thing with Twitter. You can be found across anything. It's like there's no barriers to what you can get off Twitter. And unless you live in Russia or China, North Korea. Yeah, is that it? Yeah, Cuba. So, but the point of it is there is some logic that free space to roam has an organic way of you finding your in this very chaotic kind of theory way, your best customers. And I can't go into a bunch of other stuff, but the point of it is, for me, because I agree with that theory, Periscope, Twitter, if I had to bet on all, and even against Facebook, okay, I would say that in the long run, the way that it's structured, unless it changes, the Periscope Twitter relationship is phenomenal because they have this huge, massive group of people looking to consume your content. Because all they were is what, 142 what? Oh, yeah, characters. Do you know how large they are? They're massive. And now you're going to go put fresh content on there. It's like, putting seeds in the fertilized flower bed and watering it. It's going to grow. So to me, that's where I put my bets and why.
I'm going to do it. I love it. I'm sold.
I have a question. Can y'all speak to conversion rates across the different platforms?
I'm
gonna pee my pants. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
She's leaving. I can't believe it. Good luck. There's a huge variance in conversion rates across the platforms. In the more established platforms, the lower the rates are going to be. So a lot of times, and I don't know exactly what you mean by conversion rates, because what exactly is the action that you want them to do? Share the video, click on the link within the video, make a comment. In terms of conversion rates, there are so many different metrics that are measured. Even corporations, like I was saying before, Dell's social media team, which I work at a lot, they have 30-person teams looking at different metrics, different conversion rates. An example would be if you can get, let's say for instance, you send an email burst, that's going to have a very different conversion rate than a link within a video that you have. So conversion rates can be from 0.001% to 1 to 2%. That's a very popular range that you'll see within email blasts and online conversion rates. And some of the newer formats have bigger conversion rates because they're new and they're more excitable along those lines. So when when Instagram stories came out, their conversion rates were off the charts. Because, oh my God, this brand new type thing, and now they've gradually brought it down towards more aggressive.
So now, just to be so I'm clear, because I like to look at things real specifically, so I know what I'm dealing with. So are you talking about advertising, or are you talking about conversion? Okay, so the way I look at that is I go do all my homework on Facebook, for example, and I find my perfect group, and in case you guys didn't know, I like to always throw a little something in there, so sorry if I go dissect a little bit for a second, but for example, I'll go, if I'm doing a leader, and I'll go and find Tony Robbins and all the favorite top leaders, right? And I'll go and put ads against their viewers. I'll say, okay, I want anyone that has Tony Robbins as one of the people they follow, and somebody else. So you do it for any of your industries, and so that conversion rate changes than just going to typical demographics, right? No, let's go this age. Makes this kind of money, whatever. Like really going in to someone where they're already interested in exactly what you are. And then what you do, if you know you're going to do that, is to really kick it up a notch, find something that Tony left off. What hasn't Tony talked about? Give it a notch up, It's the same thing, whatever industry you're in. And so conversions are really these funny things that I have all these little methodologies where if I add them all up, my conversion pops. And so that's why I look at it. I look at all the different ways I can make that person really, really want me, because I found the right guy, the right person. And the other thing I really like is this thing called Moments that Google kind of invented, but it always was there. And Moments is at the very time that they're interested in your product. So you can do some other cool things to create those moments. Like I was representing a company that had a transdermal cream that was supposed to reduce the risk of opioid usage because they gave a cream that limited the amount of intake, but it still resolved some of the pain issues. And so instead of going in and trying to figure out who would want that, I went and joined a bunch of groups. And I went into groups and I would put stuff in there and what have you, and I had really high conversion rates, which I didn't have to pay an ad, so there's a different kind of conversion. So it's really just playing with those things. Like for me, conversion is just a huge topic. But I want to give you some other variables that can affect conversion.
And I assume you're using the Pixel, Facebook Pixel, to track. You got to do that. So this is the best way to really track if you're using Facebook. But that's all I'm going to say about conversions, really.
When you went into the groups, did you pose as a user or somebody that's trying to find a product, or?
Okay, so I know it's a really tricky thing because you don't want to be like, yeah. Well, it's one of these things. I'm really upfront because they're going to go back. They're going to go back and look. I'm a marketing person, for God's sakes. But here's the thing: it's okay that you have a day job and still care about a subject. So I go in just like me. I care about the vets, that are getting addicted to drugs, and I have that conversation with them. And I make it really clear my purpose there is to talk about this with them and to bring forward a possible solution and be part of their group. It doesn't matter if I didn't, they'd go, don't let her in, she's a marketing person. Right. So no, I'm real upfront about my purpose.
And you go in and ask questions like, I'm doing some research and I really value your opinion?
You can, but usually I want to bring something to the group of value. Remember, go back to the value thing. And what do they care about? They're trying to figure out how to get their kids off drugs. They're trying to figure out how to stop the madness and parents that have lost their children. So I have that conversation with them.
Right.
The only last thing I want to say is my girlfriend just went and applied for Bumble. It's a dating app. It's a new dating app. And we're sitting there chatting and I'm like, how'd it go? And she's like, oh, it went great. I read all these articles and I was like, are you trying to tell me that you went to this Bumble app interview without actually using the app? I was like, you're not going to get that job. You got to try it. You just got to do it yourself. I mean, conversions or, you know, what they like or talking head or interview, you're not going to know until you try. You can think yourself into oblivion. You just, Nike.
So I think everybody's probably just totally knackered by now. In case you want to download any of this stuff, our website is inventorpreneurs.org. Inventor entrepreneurs stuck together, chopped up, whatever you want to call it. Next meeting is August 1st, and I still haven't figured out who's going to come to that meeting. So I've just been rushing around trying to promote this one and a million other things I might add. So I'm launching a whole business and everything else as well. So if you've got any good ideas for next week's meeting, please let me know. I'm desperate.
I'm pretty sure that $10 was not worth all the effort. Can we give him a round of applause?
It's still more than that
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. My camera ran out of battery. That place the light is still there.
That's great. Oh, that's so nice. What did you do? Steve.
Great job. I appreciate that.
Love this.
Well, you're a Gary fan,
exactly.
Chicago fan. Yeah. It's rough and tumble out there. It's definitely not bad.